Question or recap?
Hit us
Recap.
with a recap, I guess.
All right. At the top of last session, you guys were still inside Caliburb's tower, where you were confronted with the great Mind Flayer dragon Encephalon. Apparently trying to pry information from Caliburb's mind. A great battle ensued that took up most of the session. Ultimately, you triumphed. Freya's quick thinking, got Caliburb out of Encephalon's clutches early. And as you were able to defeat the mental projection of the dragon, the tower exploded due to the fact that Thrum exploded as he left his pyroclastic avatar form. Upon emerging from the revel, you'd found that 1 week had passed, even though you'd only spent a little under a day inside the tower. And there was a small influx of dwarven refugees from some of the northern Jarldoms as orcs have been pressing in force. But in addition to that knowledge that war is perhaps beyond the horizon, Richard was able to reunite with his lady love. I have her name written down here, Marigold Tea Leaf. Fuck knows why I can't remember that.
I didn't make it that hard, did I?
No, it's just me. It's just me, my man. I have an incredibly hard time remembering any name that's not a player character or one that I came up with. Michael's whole having all the important NPCs with tokens on the side is extremely smart.
Yeah.
It's helpful to me as a player. Anyway,
I'll probably make room next time I make a splash page for that.
I think I took that from Kenneth, to be honest.
Yes. But yeah, Fergus was able to reunite with Marigold. Gonna see if they can make that work while Ivy and Freya were watching from the rafters.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Canonically. And where we had last left off, Freya had just been checking up on Caliburb, who had regained consciousness. And he said that Encephalon now had the power to destroy the world. I believe that pretty much covers it. Most of last session was a really big boss fight against a dragon, so...
All right. Here's the question, then, before we get to more context on this whole ending the world nonsense.
So, this is another one of the repeat questions, but you guys get more information, so sometimes I need to ask them multiple times. Given everything that you've learned and the connection to Encephalon and his part to play in the reclaiming of Dammerhall and moving you guys here, what do you think of the Dwarven Gods now?
I can still take them or leave them.
Fair enough.
They honestly haven't soured in his opinion. It's like they were all already kind of the same as I thought.
You only pay attention when they need something from you. Want to use you.
I thought on the gods now. Freya would think that 90% of what the gods provided in the first place were a unifying culture for the dwarves, so to her, not really much has changed.
Yeah, I think Nolgrim would be curious why. I mean, again, he was chilling with Father Mountain for a bit while he was being reforged. You think would be important to give some sort of heads up to this rather than just remain silent about this world-ending threat.
That the prophetic visions that Taskell and Thrum had didn't come from him?
Yeah, and he just never corrected. So I would say a loss in respect at the very least from what he understands.
Yeah.
Out of character makes me wonder if they don't know things that their followers don't know. In character, he's probably on a rationalization treadmill. Like, they knew it'd be fine. Right, guys.
And Freya's like, it doesn't matter if they knew.
All right. Okay.
It matters that everyone thinks they knew. You know?
Opening bit here, but I'm going to move you over to the dashboard before I forget. I do that a lot. All right. We're going to start with Thrum in his office. Thrum, you've been catching up with everything that you've missed in the last week. As there are some more refugees coming from the Helmengoat lands, it is technically under the purview of your office to arrange things for them. Thankfully, as you're looking over some of the papers and reports of what you have missed, you'd be glad to know, Thrum, that your TSA has been handling everything very well. Dammerhall is not completely fully populated yet, so they had enough spare room to set up small tent camps. And the mushroom farms have been overproducing this year, so that's not really an issue your kingdom is facing currently.
Excellent.
One interesting thing that does catch your eyes is a report that had arrived literally today by some of your people out in Port Everstein. It's another Jarldom, but you still have some people keeping tabs on things out there with the gates. As an interesting event happened a little under a week ago, is a ship crashed into the pier at Port Everstein. It was not of dwarven make, nor was it one of the Hellspit privateers vessels. Investigations shown that there was just about 5 dead bodies below deck and a dead ogre that seemed to be tied to the wheel. But other than that, the ship was abandoned.
Is there a priest of Urgathoa?
No, but there was a half-drunken dock worker who swears that he saw a surface wolf exit the ship shortly after it crashed into the pier. Like, you know,
Surface wolf.
like a wolf from the surface, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you said there were bodies on board,
It's
right?
the opposite
Yep.
of an underwolf.
Yeah, it's the opposite of an underwolf.
Did
they
you
walk
say
on-
cause of death?
Nothing in the report. Just dead.
Druid. Alright, well, I'm trying to get to my best men to try and track the druid or the surface wolf, whichever ends up being, and go down to investigate this boat. See if I can tell what make it is, what area it came from. Anything about the ogres or the other dead, the ogre or the other dead people, or the other dead people dwarves?
Various races, very much a Dinport pirate situation.
Yeah, gotcha. Just verify that looks like it's a Dinport make.
Something to be investigated, definitely. The one in these caves, like, full of elementals or something that attacked us.
Yeah, down over there, a bunch of magical and physical stalkers that mauled things to death. Right there.
Can I do an
On-
insight on the scene on the boat to try and figure out what went down?
Well, you're in Dammerhall, not all the way over in Port Everstein yet.
Oh yeah, they're not together. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
you'd
I-
have to travel. You're welcome to do that once we get into kingdom actions, because that's like over a long period of time. So you're welcome to do that at that point. But
Okay.
as you're picking up your stuff from the office, you get word that the Council of Idiots is gathering, as apparently the Wizard of Caliburb has regained consciousness.
The Wizard of Caliburb.
The Wizard of Caliburn.
The wizard
We're-
formerly known as Caliburn.
The
Another
wizard
nerd
formerly
here.
known as Caliburn.
Language is a learned skill for me, okay?
There's
I mean,
another
Sam.
note here that the man of pack is needed. They have small purple ghosts. All right, as you were. Head down to I don't know where most of the idiots go. Chambers of the King.
We established this at some point, but I'm not quite sure if I remember where we meet.
I assume you had a meeting room in the palace?
I'm pretty sure we have like a meeting room just
Yeah.
near, like,
The king having a council of officers that he talks with behind closed doors is very much something that happens a lot. So
All right, topic number 1 for the 232nd time. We need to establish a meeting room.
We're in it
We've
right
tabled
now.
this subject. We've tabled
like
this
you're
subject.
tabling the subject on the
231
table
times.
we meet around. Is Thrum? I gotta look, everyone. I think he needs to retire. He's getting a little old in years.
I mean, that explosion he left, of course it makes sense that leave some impact on him.
I'm pretty sure you see a bald spot in his beard, which is weird because he's made of rock.
I am right here in the room. I can hear you talking.
I think that was one of my favorite off the cuff jokes from last session with Marigold saying to Fergus, yeah, like 2 hours ago a guard stuck his head through the door and said, hey, the building the king was in just exploded, so he'll be with you shortly.
It's just standard procedure right now.
Yeah, standard procedure. Guess they're done.
I imagine there are orders of, keep an eye out for when the king and his retinue come out. How will I know? You'll know.
Does have style.
All right.
All right. Share the news with the Council of Idiots of ship landing and a wolf getting off. And apparently not being stopped by our people.
The wolf. Was it the only one on the ship?
There were reports of 5 dead bodies, an ogre tied to the helm, and he was dead too. And the only thing seen living was a wolf that jumped off and ran away.
Interesting. Well, as this is an animal-adjacent occurrence, I believe this would fall strictly into your territory.
What was the cause of death?
Haven't been there yet, but I intend to go down there and see if I can't figure out what happened in an attempt to track this, my thought is druid.
So my thought is vampire. He was curious if the vampire from the asylum that they had been to has arrived.
Oh, shit.
It could also be the weird shapeshifting thing.
We don't have a problem with that vampire, do we? Am I forgetting something?
You mean the yellow monster, the yellow goo monster?
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
speaking
know.
of, smart idea, and I'm gonna take a needle and like everyone's gonna get poked, and I start going around poking people in the finger, which is hard for Thrum, but I make it work.
You want to explain before you go poking people around?
But it's see if you bleed blood. Anyway, I just poke her as I say that. Basically, I'm trying to check for yellow goo.
Yep.
And I assume he's in the room, but I checked.
Yes, I wonder how we got into that mess.
Yes, Caliber is here as well. He's leaning a little heavier on a staff that he was able to get from someone. This is definitely the most lucid any of you had ever seen him.
Mhm.
He's not babbling about acorns or squirrels or shouting smoke bomb before diving out a window and conjuring pudding or something. He looks very old. He looks very tired, and he looks very worn down.
Not gonna lie, you are an entirely different person from what we've come to know you as.
Yes, that was somewhat by design.
What?
A broken mind is impossible to pry information from with spell work. Such it was advantageous to damage my own psyche to preserve knowledge from the dragon.
Is that knowledge that the rest of your companions gained as well? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you recall what happened while your mind was broken, but when last we conjured you, I don't know if you recall what happened there.
Bendrak. As he says the name, he looks like he slumps a full extra inch.
Is what drove him similar to what caused you to do what you did to yourself?
Perhaps I should explain the story to the best of my ability. If I may sit down at the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Thrum's like, dwarves only.
He bites his tongue as he was about to say, "Welcome to the group of idiots."
The Council of Idiots.
We will not be downgraded to a mere group.
We make
We have
important
not conquered a kingdom.
decisions.
We have not
We-
been conquering a kingdom to be called a group of idiots.
We had
We are-
subcommittee hearings about this.
We are not a mere group. We make important decisions.
Yeah, we need to form a committee meeting to discuss the subcommittee for appointing people to the subcommittee.
Although I'm not opposed to opening discussions on renaming the group.
Vetoed.
Happened one time, and now he.
After someone said it just in a derogatory way, ever since then, Nogram's like, oh, I can't have this.
Caliber speaks again. I will do the best I can to retell this tale. I fear Cephalon has taken some parts of it from me, but I'll give the best I can. You were in my tower, so I imagine you have some idea of the halcyon days before what happened to the Dammerhall happened.
Yeah.
Well, it all started a little over 300 years ago. When the four of us, Bendrak, Virana, Noliander, and myself, decided to embark upon our greatest adventure yet. Leaving for Dammerhall, we intended to find the lost Dergar city of Deir Amarok. I'll drop that name into chat for you guys.
Oh, I thought it was going to be really funny if you said that the reason this all started was because they were looking for that gnome lost city that we found at the beginning.
That
would
would
be
be
funny, though.
that would have been a funny full circle, but no.
Turns out he was almost there the entire time. He was crazy.
The journey took time. Most of the details of it are lost to me now. We did eventually find it near the center of the world, deep in the ground. The city was a strange, otherworldly place. In both times seeming to be made by dwarven hands and something else inhuman. There was little treasure for us to be found, other than strange, scuttling creatures from the center of the world. But we did find something. Gods, I wish we hadn't found it. In a city square suspended over a pit of endless darkness, we found 12 statues, colossal in scale. There was a ancient runic lock of some kind in the center of the square. Not knowing what we had found, I endeavored to undo it. We are adventurers, that's what we do. And much to all of us and everyone in this world, I did succeed at undoing the lock. And the full magical power of those 12 statues were made manifest. It's difficult to describe what being in their presence is like. It's like a gravity, but of madness. When you are about them, you learned things, understood things, terrible truths, things I do not wish to judge out of my mind to recall. But I remember a few things clearly. They were called the Avatars of Amaruk. They were created by no Derogar. They were ancient arcane devices by some people from eons ago. Their purpose was to transform the world into a paradise that knew no misery and no death. The problem was that the paradise was meant for the creators of the Avatar. The Avatars. And the rest of us, humans, dwarves, elves, we are but vermin to be cleared away, should they ever reactivate. The madness seemed to have gripped us all at once. Bendrak flew into furious war, a warrior's fury. Virana fell to her knees in veneration of them. Oleander simply ran. I think I was able to maintain my senses a little bit more because I was an abjuration wizard. I had wards about me. Before Bendrak and Virana could fully fall into blows, I redid the lock almost as quickly as I had undone it. Re-scrambled the code. Something that only I would know. Or knew now. My last memories were a horrible aberrant dragon descending from the sky in rage. An alien mind trying to force the knowledge of the combination from mine. Of Bendrak's axe splitting me in two. He falls silent for a moment as his story ends.
So wait,
Yeah,
Bendrak
that
killed
sounds
you.
like Bendrak.
What'd you say, Loki?
So Bendrak killed you to keep the secret?
I don't know. That
Maybe
was
they
the
were trying to
last.
kill him to pry it out of his dead body. I don't know. It's not the weirdest thing we've heard.
That was the last I saw of him until you called me in my madness state.
I suspect this is the threat Bendrak was going on about that he had to do all of his evil deeds to protect from.
Make no mistake, if the avatars are brought to their life, they will destroy everything that we know as a functional world. Reshape it into something that we won't be able to understand. All mortals will perish, and even the gods will wither without us. That's what I've been working in my own bizarre way these last 300 years to try to stop the dragon encephalon. countless lifetimes, multiple accidental deaths. Even now I can feel the madness that was put into my mind from that place, attempting to weaken it again. That's why I needed to tell all of you this story now, before my body gives out on me again, and I die. I have contingents. I will return, but I can't make promises I will be as lucid.
So did.
Then while you are lucid, when all of this is over, we don't have to worry about this anymore. You know any way to help you once we have time?
I'm unsure. I pushed the fragments of my mind to this state quickly before the dragon could find me. I didn't really think of ways to undo. I have moments where I'm myself, and your travels through my mind within my tower has put me into more of a focused state than I have been in centuries. But I don't know. I really don't. I'm sorry.
I think we're all just kind of wrapping our mind around this for a hot minute.
I was just gonna say I was muted, but like I feel like Fergus is like deer in headlights because I imagine the way he's explaining this is a lot of like magical theory and like knowledge
Yeah.
and shit. And he's smart enough, but is completely outside of his wheelhouse of training, and he's just like, I don't know what to think of this.
Also, out of character, big props for Michael for getting Caliburb out of there so fast. Otherwise, large chunks of the story would have been removed by Encephalon's modified memory. So you guys got basically the full download.
Well done.
All right.
So it is just us and Caliburb in the room, right?
I'll assume so.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
making
if it's a council of idiots, it probably has Thyrus in here too.
Yeah.
Well, not if we made mention of Ben.
And okay, so we know Encephalon has the code now,
Bendrak
right?
If we were going to talk
Yes.
about Bendrak, we probably wouldn't have Thyrus in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can just be the five of you. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well.
But yes,
It certainly
Caliburb-
changes things. We may have to change around some of our plans in order to make things work. I don't know if we'll be able to get any drow on board, even though, by all means.
Well, I imagine they're working with the situation because isn't the queen of the drow right now?
I forgot the queen was kind of in cahoots with the mind flayer thing.
Well, because if the whole thing with Bendrak happened with this, who knows what the fuck's going on in the drow capital?
Yeah, but we should start making alliances with the humans and even the sky giants, explaining to them what's going on here.
How can we get them to believe us?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, that's what we have Fergus for.
Caliburb speaks. I don't even remember how to get to Dar Amaruk. I think that was something else that Encephalon took from me.
So we all know what Bendrak has been building and what still resides below. Was that meant to fight Encephalon and these avatars, or was that just meant for world domination so he could, make sure nobody goes down there?
I might have misheard. Like, Dear Amok, you said it was like an old Duergar
Yeah,
thing?
Duergar City.
city. Okay. Because we have seen some Duergar ruins nearby, so it might.
Mhm.
lead credence to maybe it's closer than we think to Dammerhall. Like maybe if we press northward after we deal with the orcs, we might be able to find some more Duergar. We could also ask
Ignis.
Ignis if she has any idea of what that. Like I think we heard the name before and we asked her.
Yeah, you asked because you heard that they went to a Durgar city, and you're like, you know anything about it? And she's like, there's a lot of Durgar cities. That's
Yeah, well, I mean, what we could do is we could ask her if she knows someone we might be able to barter with for information about said city.
Mhm.
And if we need proof, I can have some of my wizards from the college maybe come along and cast Share Memory. It's a wizard, sorcerer, witch, and bard spell.
Wait, are we
Witch?
thinking of the same system? Because Witch isn't in the system. This is
Uh,
5e. Are you looking
Where's
at
the
Pathfinder?
5e equivalent? I may have been. I thought I looked at the D. Oh, I clicked on the Roll20 one, but it was the Pathfinder Roll20 compendium, not the D&D 5e. Even though I typed in D&D 5e, I don't think Share Memory is in 5e then.
No,
No.
it's not. I just looked it up.
Dang.
Are any of other than Bendrak and Caliber, or either of the other two still alive? I think.
Well, isn't one of them the Drow
the
Queen?
worm had died.
Like, haven't we heard her name be referred to as the Queen of the Drow right now? Or am I just misremembering?
I mean, Nolgrim has the name of the Drow Queen in his Book of Grudges.
Yeah. Aljara?
I'm bad with names, so I'm not sure.
Zanadra?
Yeah.
What
Yep.
What was your friend's name, Caliber?
Byrana. Yeah, unless someone's using fake names, it looks like it's probably different people.
Gotcha.
So that might be a source. So, bad taste in my mouth saying that out loud, but if that is where we need to go, there is one person we know. Can't we just have a normal week?
No, it's the Underdark. There's not allowed to be normal down here.
Without stealing dragon, an army of orcs invading. Somebody just floated a boat up and a wolf jumped off.
We're definitely busy.
You spend a couple months underwater and you get lazy.
Well, so we need to come up with a list of priorities.
Right now, I think the priority is dealing with the orc invasion.
Yeah.
That's like first and foremost what we need to deal with.
Caliber speaks up, and he says, I obviously don't know everything about the avatars, but Cephalon does have the combination now. So the fact that we're not all dead means that he's missing something. Otherwise, there was what's stopping him from simply
Well, he
reawakening
clearly.
them.
Well, one of the things that's been going on recently is I'm pretty sure my brother is in mind control cahoots with the drow lady that you traveled with. I can't remember her names, forgive me.
Byrana?
Because something to do with their master and mind control stuff and this weird living metal that's inside of me now that's being controlled. Something seems like it might be connected, and they all have been trying to get the crown to control these golems. So maybe there's something preventing them from reaching where they're trying to get.
Perhaps.
Like maybe there's actually something protecting the area. And they need
Maybe the
firepower to get
crown
through.
itself.
Well, I mean, he's been down there. What sort of what protections have come in place after the fact.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm thinking. It's maybe something new after the fact.
Can you remind me, Gumbo, did the crown's location eventually get revealed to someone?
No,
Nope,
managed
you
to
managed
be
to.
the fact that you
Gotcha.
handed it off to Nulgrim.
Yeah, they probed
Saving
my
grace.
mind, and I never asked where it would be.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of, probably.
Yeah, they grabbed me
Yeah.
thinking, oh, the king will know. And I'm like, I don't know shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't ask
Maybe-
those questions.
I
The
gave that
crown-
gaudy thing to the help.
I have my own crown. I don't need a second one.
And maybe
A
the
less
crown,
magnificent crown.
the black iron are related to some sort of key for it as well.
So you're saying the yellow Kool-Aid man has the key?
Oh god. Now I'm just thinking like this is out of character. All I'm thinking is like we had a finger that the yellow creature got.
Mhm.
What if it was a sensor that like you're trying to get into a vault with your thumbprint, and we needed that one finger?
Oh god, here's the end of the scene. You know, it's the yellow Kool-Aid man's got the key, and then Taskell looks over at him and goes, "Oh yeah."
Just comes bursting in.
I mean, you know,
How did I
where-
get here?
You know where entire arm of the black iron metal is, the original one, like the finger. You just
Yeah.
have to hit that walnut and bring Benjack back.
I'm good.
I
That'd
always
be
necessary a
hilarious.
break in case of emergency situation,
Mm.
much like Caliburb's help with him.
The only situation in which I plan on bringing him back is once we've defeated all those things he was trying to protect us from, to show him that we did it without all the evil, so that he can go and kill himself.
Damn.
Yeah, we
So
suspect.
it wasn't friendship all along.
We suspect the
Um,
orcs are being led by the red dragon, and he hates this Encephalon dude.
But I think he hates us.
We
just
could
as
try to
much.
strike up an alliance.
Maybe.
That they are ancestral enemies.
I'm sure he doesn't like us, but I'm sure he'd like living in Cephalon's world even less.
I mean,
Put on your
once we
good
deal with,
suit, Fergus.
well, I mean, if we deal with the orc army, we could capture one of them, and send them back with a message for their liege, clearly, and tell them
Say
that
something like Encephalon lives, or
yeah, like Encephalon is alive and is, I don't know how to word it, like is looking to uproot the entire world. I don't know. Encephalon's back and he wants your shit. That might make more sense for the Red Dragon.
be the Soviet Union to our allied powers? ?
Wow.
Parentheses, won't fight you afterwards. Promise, pinky promise.
It's
Hashtag
okay. He'll break that before we do.
BFF.
I'll have you know that you're an absolute monarchy and the Orcish horde is a skill-based meritocracy. So if anything, you're the Soviet Union.
Your kingdom, our kingdom.
Well, since you said that, now we must destroy you. The offer is off the table. To war!
Like either way, we're gonna have to go to war and get these guys off of our back before we deal with any of that.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, just to keep it simple, we can capture one and just tell them to return the message that Encephalon lives. We probably don't even need more details than that to get the Red Dragon interested.
Cephalon lives. Want to hook up?
Encephalon lives. You up?
They paid the finest artists to sculpt a dick pic for you.
No, none of us are a donkey or a bard. We're not doing this.
What do you think all those Roman statues were?
Cephalon back.
Overcompensation.
LFG.
In the British Museum where they belong.
You can have your history back when we decide that you deserve it.
Or we don't want it anymore. Which is never.
When you've been a good little country, we'll give you your artifacts back.
Yes, and we need a new exhibit. All right, does that work if we send a note? Cephalon back, LFG.
Let's deal with the army first, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kill these oiks. I think we had a kingdom action before, though.
Yeah, you haven't taken your kingdom actions for this. I didn't know if you wanted to ask any more questions of Caliber, but I didn't know if you wanted to call in any NPCs for stuff for anything. Whenever you guys want, we can go into kingdom actions. I'm just letting it breathe naturally.
I'm trying to think of any more information we could, because we got the entire backstory we could. I guess. Oh, no, go look over to Caliber. How did you find that location in the first place? Did you? I mean, like, you knew about it. Obviously, you were looking for it, but
I don't
that was
quite
okay.
remember. I just remember it was deep within the earth. And I remember our journey starting here in Dammerhall. Bendrak was the king at the time.
But no idea how you found out about it in the first place.
No, I suspect after the code, that's the next thing that Cephalon took from me.
Mm.
Bendrak was the king at the time, and gas was only a nickel.
Is there anything we could do for you? I mean, you've been out of it for quite a while, and it looks like
No, old age will catch up with me soon enough, especially after the ordeal. I have multiple clones hidden in hidey holes throughout the Underdark. I'm sure my soul will ping to one of those when this body expires. I've been doing it for 300 years. I imagine I could wrestle another decade more out of this. Because he is human, so he's been doing something.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about the human lifespan.
do you know anything more about
Typical
Cephalon himself? Where he came from? Any weaknesses he may have beyond what we've already
Well, I mean,
encountered?
wasn't he originally in Dammerhall before Dammerhall was founded?
He was the blue dragon that resided within the mountain that became
Right.
Dammerhall. Durin Trinehammer reportedly slew him, but apparently reports of his death were greatly exaggerated.
Which means that where his body was reanimated or something could literally just be directly deep below Dammerhall.
There was that hole.
There was that hole, and there's
Wait, how long ago? Wait, how old was that hole?
A little over
Say-
300 years.
Yeah, it was older than before the fall.
Mhm.
Right, but around the same age as
The fall of Dammerhall, where it was corrupted from whatever they opened up. So it's very likely.
or again, you said you've been in this state for past 300 years, Caliber.
Give or take, yes.
Maybe that's where they went down.
Well, it didn't look like it was big enough for them to crawl down, did it? Or is it?
It was big enough for people single file on a rope to go down, not an army to go down.
And weren't there handholds and
Yes, there was
ancient ladders and stuff
there
in
was
there?
old pittons still into the wall from where ropes used to be.
So somebody did climb down.
We
Caliber,
probably
do you
should.
know what a piton is?
We probably should have someone go down and investigate. Now that we think about it, but this just sounds like a bad idea, and whoever goes down there's
Does-
probably going to die.
Does it sound familiar, Caliburn?
It sounds like climbing equipment that we've used in the past. That type of thing is used in adventuring quite often.
Hmm.
It's not impossible. I know that we started our journey from Dammerhall. It's entirely possible that it was within Dammerhall.
I mean, we might have found an entrance to wherever with that. Wait, that spell you used on Bendrak, where's he at now?
Huh. At the center of the world.
Nolgro just kind of look around.
Wait, what's at the center of the world? I missed what you asked.
Bendrak is along with, if I recall you saying, that avatar.
Yeah. The avatars of
Encased in the adamantine orb.
Yeah.
Right.
magically
but-
impenetrable prison. But he's down there.
So, someone we might come across. Should we go down and make our way towards that temple? How many other people did you use that spell on? Because,
To the best of my memory, just him.
okay.
You had to have practiced on a squirrel or something first.
I did trap a demon in a ruby one time, but that was a different variation of the spell. I don't know where that ruby went.
Let's put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
I did trap a demon in a rice cooker one time, but
He came out all goopy.
that was
Not
when
enough
that was when I was going by the Turtle Hermit. You might have heard of my exploits. You're weird. You're a weird shared universe.
No, the planet would be getting destroyed much more often if that was a shared universe.
Yeah.
No,
It's like this whole
it's
war
like
happening
told
wouldn't
me
even
it's
be an
just been
issue,
so
okay?
long, it's all been forgotten. But he's
Could you
still-
imagine just to do an RPG in a Dragon Ball style world, but you're not involved in the main plot, and you guys are sitting around a board table discussing what to do next? And I said, and then everything explodes, and then next you're back in the room and everything's back together. The world didn't explode.
But you clearly
What?
remembered exploding.
Yeah, what happened? What just fucking happened?
Oh, that Goku, them silly boys, they's up to it again.
I think someone made a tier list online about which anime worlds would be the worst to live in, and there was a lot of really bad ones. They said number 1, Dragon Ball, because it may look colorful and fun, but unless you're the main characters, your life is forfeit at the whim of anyone else.
Multiple times at that.
Yeah. If you're an ordinary
Hey,
human
hey,
trying
hey.
to buy groceries, you're dead.
They'll use one of those extra wishes they have for no reason to make you forget it ever happened. So
No, and
it's
also,
not the worst.
how are you gonna go shopping? There's like a 40-mile desert every which way you go from every which fucking just a single building.
I don't
Everything
don't
else gets
know.
leveled, so.
I don't know if you guys ever caught it, but at some point in Dragon Ball, they just gave. We can get into the game because we're getting on a tangent now.
Yeah.
But they gave the Earth Dragon Balls an extra wish and never explained why. Like they, at some point, Dende. I guess you could assume Dende upgrades it again, but if I remember correctly, they explained Dende upgrades it to have grant 2 wishes, and then just at some point it starts granting 3 with no explanation.
You want to know why, Michael?
They needed a 3rd wish.
No, I guarantee Akira Toriyama just forgot.
You're probably
'Cause-
like, oh, wishes. 3 wishes
Well-
is standard, right?
Well,
I did
no,
that in
someone
yeah,
got
there's a
that
dragon.
right?
I remember there was some.
I mean,
dragon
he
that made
forgot about an
wishes.
entire character from Dragon Ball.
Yes, you're correct. There is a dragon that grants 3 wishes. That's the Namekian dragon.
Yeah.
He grants 3 wishes. Earth Dragon Balls never granted 3 wishes. I think I'm getting this right. It's messed up
Yeah.
some way like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, dude forgot he already made Super Saiyan 2, is all I'm saying. Anyway. Back to
Dude
the farm.
didn't actually forget that Raditz was the son of Bardock because that wasn't made by him, but they did forget that Raditz was the son of Bardock when he wrote his story for Bardock.
Gonna miss that man. Sorry, this is a tangent within a tangent, but they came out with that video game Sandland based upon the manga Sandland by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
He plays Beelzebub, son of Lucifer, and one of the main character guys gets Beelzebub's help in his quest to find water by bribing him with a video game console. And I was watching someone play it, and they're like, "Oh, have to go talk to Lucifer to get permission for this quest." And then he's like, "Oh, I'm surprised Lucifer let us do a quest to help save the world. That's very nice of him." And then Lucifer goes, "Oh, but one more thing, Beelzebub. When you're done with this quest, you only get to use that game console 1 hour a day." He goes, "No, he is the fucking devil." Anyway, very serious. Dark Tale,
Yes.
End of the World.
Back to the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Dwarfland. Well, I think we know what we need to do. Kill some orcs.
Yeah.
First, Kingdom
I believe we
Actions.
were shoring up our resources right now, aren't we?
Yeah, if you guys want to pop over to Kingdom Actions.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
All right. Okay. First up, Fergus, give me that advantaged Constitution saving throw. All right. You do not lose a hit die this season.
Just wake up every morning, coughing up blood like I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Standard practice at this point.
Your was it wife, fiance, whoever gets all the more concerned of, okay, exploding buildings, coughing up blood like no big deal.
No, Loki. Neither.
Neither. They're still figuring
Neither.
it out.
I
Yep.
gotcha.
No one sees us spitting up blood except for him.
Mm-hmm. All right. So.
That's in character too. Milgram says that, and I'm like, let's be clear, this woman means nothing to Fergus. We don't know her. This is some.
I like how Freya's die hard for Ivy,
Hey, she knows her longer.
right?
Ivy stand all the way.
All right. So. It is season 4, so you'll have budget reconciliation at the end of this season. But other than that, no one has had any actions or anything yet.
Well, easy for me. Is the area we're going into known for like a lot of difficult terrain, or more than usual?
The Helmengoat territory where the Orc army is currently. There is
Yeah.
some difficult terrain. Yes. Few scattered mushroom groves and some still water ponds.
I'm going to be crafting my runework centurions.
All right.
And I'm going to be trying to make that new unit, I think. Is what we
Yes,
decided
if
on.
you look at special forces, I have created the Iron Cloak Scouts.
Special forces. I don't see
Wow,
them.
really? Rolled
Are
thunder.
they on elite units or something?
No, special forces units.
Special forces units, moose maulers, dwarf clerics, Dammerguard.
I just updated it like a second ago. Hold
Is it-
on.
Let me reload.
It's not on mine. though.
Did it not save? Hold on.
Did you put it in? Did you put it in the DM section?
Hold on.
What are you looking for?
The new units I was making, they're like scout units.
There, try looking again.
Special forces units. There they are.
All right. So. 2d8 plus. You've got some economic issues. So remember to pick your 2 dice that you're using and your kicker there, Freya. And Civic is going to be a problem for your construction.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Can you explain the kicker to me again? What is the kicker
It's called the effect. I just picked up Loki's term of calling it the kicker. Essentially, what it is you look at the die size, and that'll determine how effective it is. So, for example, Building Roomwork Centurion's a 2d8 difficulty. So if you pick a d6 as your kicker and it succeeds, then you'll lower it by 2 steps. So then it would become a d4 challenge. So if it's a d8 or higher effect die, then you'll just automatically get it done if you succeed.
So then I would want to pick the 11, the 6 with a d8 kicker, looks like.
All
or
right.
a d10 kicker.
Yep. And that works out because even the highest I rolled was an 11. So with a d8, you just get your Centurions. So let me get that token from you for you.
Field the golems to the battle.
There we go. Runework Centurions. Also, quick check. You guys can move all those tokens on the map, right? The army ones. Okay,
Yep.
good. Just want to make sure.
Looks
because
like it, yeah.
I'll copy paste those over to the battle map. I just want to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's Freya's action.
Did Thorm ever end up making those bullet riders?
He
They're
had
kind of blocked by orcs.
he discovered it, but now there's some orc problems.
Okay. I recalled there being something with us having the bullet token be a goat, which is the only reason I asked.
Yep. Now it's a little shark.
Gumbo, am I able to split my action if I'm doing the scouts or no?
Yes, so long as you just don't have both actions be train scouts.
No, like I was gonna use my other action to keep working on my alchemy idea.
Yeah, you can do that.
And do I need to roll anything to make the scouts?
Yes.
We'll go ahead and do that one first. So there's my die. And then I imagine this is might.
This will be might.
I can use dwarven population because they're dwarves.
Mhm.
Are there any of the clans that we have here considered like more the sneaky variety that I could?
No, this is like Fergus going from tavern to tavern to find the oddballs and assemble his dirty dozen, I would argue.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Like maybe Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, I might tap Adventurers Guild.
Yep, you do have like weapon stockpiles and stuff like that if you guys ever need anything. Because keep in mind, like weapon stockpile is a D12, so if you use that as the effect die, you can basically instantly train any unit. So
Yeah, I'm gonna tap the military academy.
Mhm.
See if I find anyone they're technically considered rejects there because they're too wiry.
Yep.
Anyone mind if I add one of this weapon stockpile?
I don't care. Well, I haven't been using it.
Okay, so here we go. Those are some piss poor rolls. I guess I'll use that 11 and that 6 with one of the D8s for.
I mean, that's what I got on mine, so.
All right.
I had an 11 and a 6 as well.
Okay, so you succeed, but they are not done being trained yet. They're now at a 2d4 status.
That's fine. And then for the alchemy one, that'll be me. It'll probably be industry, I imagine, or it'll be lore if I'm studying it still.
I believe it would be lore.
We probably haven't gotten to the point where I'm manufacturing anything with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Can I use Clan Embermane since they're scholars and runesmiths?
Sure.
I imagine if anyone's going to help me, it'd probably be them of the clans. I'm all tapped at Works College. None of the temples have anything to do with any kind of alchemy or crafting of that kind of
particularly,
variety. I didn't think
no.
so. Didn't think so.
Just religion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could probably be tapped for like forging and stuff, but I figured I'd ask. Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll those 6. Oof. Well, I guess it's a 3 and a 2.
Yeah, no progress on it.
It was close considering we both got number 1s on like half the rolls.
Also, did you use a D8 for your officer die for both actions, even though that you split action?
Oh yeah, I did. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because both of those were the 1s.
Yeah, but just remember for the future.
Yeah, I know. I forgot that. That was my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Again, either way, they were the worst rolls of both of them. So.
Yep.
Okay, that'll be my actions though.
Okay. That'll leave Thrum, Taskell, Milgram, and Ivy.
I think I'll split my actions. Use one to train Hammer Elite, and the other to move the troops to Fort Helmengoat.
That's
Okay.
under construction, but I
Yeah.
was going to go down there with preferably at least these 3 units here. The
Cool.
defense.
How long is it going to be under construction for? Because I imagine it'll take a season to get everybody there. So
Depends on how well
Yeah.
I roll.
I can create a second army group here for you. And then you guys can decide how you wish to. Because having your army march won't take an action unless you are also accompanying them.
Gotcha.
It's like next season we marched with them. We would
Okay.
need to use that action, I believe.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
already have them down there if you would prefer.
Yeah, I'd like to get a good bulk of the troops there already. In that case, I'll use my full turn on the Hammer Elite. Oh, no. Give me 1 sec. I'll think on that now that I have an extra. See if I could get a few more.
There we go. Just pop these corn puppies down a little bit so I can fit this here.
Actually, do we want to leave anything in reserve at Dammerhall, or what are you feeling? We could leave a unit
Like
of Hammer
dwarf-
Guard.
Yeah, that works. Just in case. Are we bringing the Centurions too, or no? I guess they
Those will
march
be
with us
constructed
next
at the
season.
end of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
so.
no. As soon as I said that out loud, I'm like, wait, I'm an idiot.
All right. So you want to give that roll for the Hammer Elite?
Give me a sec. Somebody else can go first, because since I have 2 actions, I want to.
Yeah.
Figure out if I want to do anything else.
You can train 2 different units with your split actions, just not the same unit, because that is essentially you just cheesing the system to double your dice pool.
Yep, I remember that. Even if there are 2 different units.
No, you
Like,
can do
I mean,
two.
like-
You can do 2 different units, but don't just say Hammer Elite twice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you,
it can't be like 2 groups of Hammer Elite. It would have to be a Hammer Elite plus something else.
yes.
Okay.
Because once again, otherwise it's literally just I'm letting you double your dice pool for no apparent reason to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
So Freya, or so not Freya, Taskell, Thrum.
You had mentioned it being an action to go down here to investigate Port Eversteam. How would you?
You don't have to do that as an action if that's something you want to do just in person. I was one to make sure that we were going to get to the caliber briefing without saying, actually, Thrum left the city, so he doesn't hear any of this.
Yep, no problem. Then for action, what all units are being trained? We're trying to get. Can I split my actions and help some of the other guys who are can Thrum go down there and kick some ass and help train some people?
You can pick most units that you think that like thematically fall under your purview, like pretty much any of the basic units except for Goat Cavalry, because Goat Cavalry is not available at the moment. Like if you just wanted to use an action to train like defenders or quarrelers or something, that would be very much within Thrum's office.
What were the ones that Fergus was working on? The like light scouts.
The special
Scouts?
forces, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Iron Cloak Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And were you invested in the moose malt or the moose?
How we can't use
Yeah.
any moose rat.
No, you can't use the goats. You
Goats.
still have the Deep Moose
Yeah.
Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make some more moose.
Mises pieces.
Pieces.
All right, those would be
Right.
special forces.
Moose's pooses.
Gooses gooses. I'm done now.
Alright, so Thrum's a 1d8 plus.
Are you just doing this
What
as your
about
one
the-
action?
Well, I was thinking that action plus traveling to the other place would kind of be two
Okay.
things.
Yeah. You can strap to the other place. You can still use your D8 for training. That's it. That's okay. Just want to make sure.
Training is might, I assume.
For in this case, yes, it varies depending on the unit, but for cavalry, I would definitely call that might. You know, like Freya could have used industry to construct war machines. I would say that's applicable. Lore could be
Just the,
used for clerics, but the moose are
Dwarf
definitely.
population.
I would say not in this case. You
Okay,
can
let me
use the deep moose herd asset that you have because that's kind of what they're here for. Always the ever loving weapon stockpile.
Where that then, because if I get it high enough, they get automatically created, right?
Yeah.
In this one round. Okay.
It's going to be tricky because this is going to be a 2d10 difficulty plus your civic and economic stress. So
Rock around is tricky.
Oh,
Sorry.
then you know what? I still want to. I am going to split that to a 1d4, and I'm going to lower the civic unrest with my other one.
Yeah.
The Hearthstone military, does that help train units?
yeah, that absolutely could. And now I imagine you're not going to, but it is important to remember that you do have the option to stress out, so you could increase like economic or political stress.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. I was just letting you know that was still an option.
Listen, Thrum adds enough stress to the city just by existing, okay?
Mhm.
All right. All right, so choose the 2 dice that you're adding together and the 1 to be the effect. So like in this
Yeah.
case here, that your highest is the 8 on the D12.
Yeah.
So if you pick
use
that
it.
as the add up, that means that even if you succeed, you won't finish constructing training the moose maulers.
That
Let's go
D4
with
of economic that D4 of economic stress is just all of Thrum's alimony payments.
Let's go with the 4 and the 5 with the 12 kicker and hope that you roll up. So 9.
No. that's a
Did
14.
Did not roll low at all, my friend.
There was every possibility. So
Yep.
I'll
I'm a
put
gambling
them.
man.
Mhm.
All right. Then to lower stress.
Yep. This will be a pretty easy one for you. It's just going to be 2d10, no modifiers. You don't need to pick a kicker. If you beat it, it drops 1 step.
Okay. Gonna get everyone remaking all of the damage greatly browsed up to show how dwarves can rebuild the city very quickly from when I exploded. I mean, from when Caliburb's temple exploded.
And all the earthquake damage for when you were fighting that dragon.
Yeah. And singing songs. Hi ho, hi ho.
What'd you say about my mama?
Would this be Heart of the Mountain?
Yeah, I could say you could use the Heart of the Mountain here.
Yeah. Mountain can give us some lava. Okay, that's probably it. Would the foundry help at all?
Not the Golem Foundry, no.
Okay.
Because it makes weapons.
Okay. All right, so 15, an 8 and a 7.
All right. Pretty good odds of succeeding this. Double 1s. You reduce your civic stress by 1 step.
All right.
All right. And where were those double 1s on that last roll for you?
Yeah, I could have used that and get some mooses out there. Canadians, whatever.
Yeah.
So can he head down to check out the boat and see what killed those 5 people?
Sure. You're able to go around down there in this season. You're able to start poking around. Without needing to do any rolls, it's looking like the ones below deck died due to exhaustion and malnutrition. They were found around the crank wheels that were activating the boat.
Okay. Did they have holes in their neck?
No, but the ogre on the surface appeared to have died via blood loss.
Yep. Can I locate any puncture wounds?
Very slight, but they are there.
Damn it. That's so much harder than a druid. All right.
Thrum's fixing himself a drink. He's tired of the party.
My wife can't open a bottle of wine, so I had to come do it for her. All right. Sorry.
Nice.
And I guess, can he pick up any trail?
Give me a survival.
Yep. I'm going to use a point of luck and
Sure.
go ahead and judiciously re-roll that.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
You follow the wolf tracks for a little bit through Port Everstein, but at one point they just seem to stop and vanish in the middle of open ground for no apparent reason, making the trail
Look
go
up to TSA agents sweeping the ground. Damn it, guys.
It is also entirely possible that the vampire just turned into mist.
Yeah. I'm going to blame my men.
Yep, that's fair. First rule of management. You didn't do anything wrong.
It's clearly that other guy's fault.
Yep. Even when someone can clearly show you that you did do something wrong, you're right.
Yep. But they were doing what I had told them to, and they should have known better.
Didn't you know that when I got this slightly larger paycheck and a slightly fancier sounding title, my mind was instantly filled with perfect knowledge of how this place works? Sorry, I may be taking out some of my real life issues in the game right now.
Oh no, for sure, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like having your boss tell you that if you're struggling at work, you just need to work faster, and then they try to show you how it's done. They do it wrong, so you fix what they do.
Yep. Because I'm now basically a manager at my work now,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of times we've gotten like paperwork from corporate being like, okay, so like for instance, we have like what is it? Like shirt sets that are like in boxes for men.
Mhm.
They're like, okay, don't open the boxes and damage anything by putting like a security tag on there. And now they just came out like, okay, now you have to open it up and put a security tag on it, but you also we want you to go through the box. And then they did that and they change it every 3 months to back and forth to what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want us to, then they want us to, then they don't want us to. And I have to be the one to tell people like they want us to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at me like, really? I'm like, I hate it. It's just so stupid. Like these
Yep.
rules are made by people who clearly have never worked outside of the office.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. Someday it'll all come crashing down. Anyway, so that's Thrum's actions. That will leave just Nulgrim and Taskell.
I'll still do the Hammer Elite, and I think I'll also try to lower the civic stress.
All right.
Make a grand display of mobilizing the troops.
Sure.
All right. Let's start with the Hammer Elite.
All right.
All right, so got Nulgrim, got Might.
Plus a D10 because it doesn't resolve till the end of the season.
Forge District for the armaments.
Sure.
Do we want to tap into a weapon stockpile or leave that whole for now?
I mean, I tapped it once already. If you want to use
Okay.
it, I don't care for it
Okay.
or care about it.
All right. Hearthstone. Anything else? Nope, I think that's pretty much it. All right, let's do it. Well,
All right.
11 with a D12 kicker.
Unfortunately, that's a 13.
Alrighty. And then what do I roll for this civic? Let's see. Let's go. Nulgrim. Would that be influence?
Yeah, I would say so.
Would historic capital come into play if we could kind of adorn it as a, again, a
Sure.
off to battle?
Yeah.
Hearthstone Military Academy for all the arraignments and.
Mhm.
And can I also use the undergate as a sort of, like,
I
think-
feel like that would be pushing it a little bit. But to remind
Okay.
you, it's just a flat 2d8.
yeah,
So if you've got like 8 dice already, it's already going to be heavily skewed in your favor.
that's fair. That's fair. I think I
Yeah.
got 4 so far. I was
Mhm.
just kind of, my mind was kind of going like the triumphant arches.
Yeah.
and So, okay. We'll see how that do. Got 12.
Ties go to you, so it reduces by 1 step.
All right.
All right. Taskell?
Mhm. Well, for Fort Helmengoat, I currently have myself, dwarf population, industry, and a maybe on Clan Helmengard because,
Yeah,
they're
live
kind
there.
of busy.
And I assume this is more of like obviously not a true resplendent citadel fortress, but more like a strong point to hold the tunnel. It's not like a full permanent by dwarven standards.
Oh yeah, no, just some
Yeah, just want to make sure
initial
for
walls to help us defend the fallback point.
yeah, exactly. I was just wondering 'cause
Might,
that'll affect the difficulty. So
yeah, might upgrade it if this prolongs
Hmm.
with stronger defenses on the cave side and hopefully unneeded defenses on the tunnel side. But for now, yeah, no, just practically a hill fort with stone.
yeah, that's no problem. That'll mean it'll be a 2d6 base difficulty. I'm adding a few stresses, but other than that, so that makes it much easier for you.
It's like 12 with a D8 kicker.
All right. Highest there is 9. Temporary Fort Helmengoat is a go.
Alrighty.
There we go. There we are. And let me create a little asset for you because that would definitely be worth something here. As it is very small, it's not going to affect your budget at this stage.
That's good. I mean, we got quite a bit of budget going on already.
Mm-hmm. I believe that just leaves Ivy, but I'm going to take a bio real quick. So give some people some time to think about going into next season as well if you wish to hold
I feel
your
like we're
target.
just gonna start marching next season.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Just letting you know. Either way, I'm going to go take a leak.
Mm-hmm. Suppose the question is, yeah, guess we'll find out after how stressed the budget ends up being. 'Cause, I mean, we can turn Fort Flagstone over to the Kingless Kingdom to manage for a while. And take it off our budget, but it's only like 1 on the budget.
And I feel like at this point, you got to anticipate a excessive budget because, again, wartime footing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in my head, they're already helping run it, but I don't know if Gumbo has that down in paper. forget. Do we have any intel on this orc army other than it's in this general cave, pillaging
think-
as they do?
I don't think so. We could probably
I-
have
well, that's
Ivy
what-
do us.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna have Ivy do, was investigate the details of the army. We just haven't gotten there. I don't think we had anyone. We haven't got to her yet.
He may have forgotten. Because I know. I don't think I heard her on the list of people still to go, but
No.
He
find
did it
out when he gets back.
that I think we forgot. So we can just bring it up when he comes back.
So it's probably another drow city up in this area, especially since they got this gate here. Question is how much further north the ocean goes, I suppose. So it meets up here. That could be a drow city, and meet up with that. Trade lane. Now the dragon's somewhere north. Oh, the red dragon. The blue mind dragon's probably south.
I feel like the blue dragon's just gonna be like directly underneath Dammerhall, like really deep down, but just down.
Could be.
I still think that old hole that we found with the pittons and all that seems like the most likely candidate for the starting point of.
Oh yeah, that'll
Caliber
definitely be
when it goes.
investigated once we're done with the ensuing threat.
I forget. Have we dealt with the toxic pool?
I don't think so. I think
yeah,
it's
I forgot
something we
about the
definitely
toxic
do.
Thought it was part of the Golem Foundry area, but
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. I think we forgot about Ivy's action, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said Ivy still had an action. That it's
Oh,
next.
okay, I didn't hear that part. I heard
Yep.
we talked about it earlier, but we never.
yeah, brought that.
'Cause we were just discussing. We're probably gonna have her investigate the army,
Sure.
the orc army. See if we can get any intel on them.
Yeah. All right. I'll just say it's probably just going to be a simple 2d8. So that can be Ivy plus influence, and then anything else you guys think.
Could we use the dwarven spy ring we have set up, or is that only for like other stuff?
That's only for dwarves, but you could use the adventurers.
Yeah, they might as well start pulling their weight. They've
Yeah.
failed at everything else they've
Yeah.
done.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to make it a 2d6. Orcs aren't very subtle.
Yeah, I got the. Let's see. Could I use Clan Helmenguard since they're
Yeah, I
right
could
in that
see
area? These are almost all 1d6s, so.
Mhm.
Because I got the influence, her die. I got the Adventurers Guild, and I got Clan Helmenguard. Because I think that's all I can really think to use.
All right.
Because we can't use 4 Helmengoat, because that just got established.
Yep. 9.
10.
Well, definitely using that 6 and 4 with a D8 kicker.
Mm-hmm. With a D8 kicker. All right. Give me a
Okay.
moment here while I jot down some details. Because she comes back with a great deal of information. Since you got a D8 kicker, I'm literally just giving you how many troops are in the entire enemy army right now. So I'm just doing the breakdown for you.
Gotcha.
Good intel then.
Yep. Here we go. Put that in the chat there.
Quite a bit. We might need to do another season of battalion building. Because, 1,200 orc warriors, even if they're small, if they hit us, that's a lot of damage.
200 archers.
Are they moving as a cohesive unit, or are they breaking off into smaller regiments?
That's everything that's in that flag right there.
Okay.
So that's a little bit of intel for you.
Mm-hmm.
200. I mean,
But
we've got quite
1,200.
1,200. I heard 200. Sorry.
No, 1,200 is a big difference.
Yeah, 1,200
That's
orcish
like-
warriors plus 500 archers.
200. We're good.
Well, that 1,200 orcish warriors is just the battle line. They still have archers in addition to that.
Mm-hmm.
Assume Orgers is supposed to be ogres.
Yeah, sorry, I was typing fast. It's ogres, 120 ogres.
I mean, whatever the fucking Orger is could be horrifying.
Oh god.
Don't
We got
ask.
orcs and orogs. So.
Orchards. Worm blessed Orogs. Yeah, we definitely need to trade up a season them before we take them on.
At least one more season worth of growing. The second army's already there to start, like, kind of dealing with it while we shore up more, but
All right. So, first things first, budget reconciliation time. Excuse me. So, that's a D6 for Thyrus, a D6 for commerce, a D8 for industry, and anything else you can tap for money.
does that
Yeah.
Adventurers Guild generate profit this year?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, we can utilize them. Finally, they're pulling their weight.
Right. Gem mine.
In mind, we could probably, if we need to, use the weapon stockpile.
If you're
Unheard.
selling
I
the weapons.
would kind of argue. When did the invasion start? Was it like a month or two ago?
It's
Season.
like a late last season. So
I mean, the gem mine is in this cavern. That's kind of only.
yeah,
attached.
that's a good point. Let's see, what is the gem mines rating? You know what? Let's compromise and just say the gem mine's gonna count as a D6 for this season, and then you'll lose access to it next one. That seems like a fair compromise. That maybe you got some stockpile in before you got cut off. And remember, as budget reconciliation, you're rolling all the dice, and then you're picking 3 to add together to try to beat your budget of 15. And even if you fail, you'll just increase one of your stresses by 1.
I don't think it hurt to use weapon stockpile to just try to get that little bit extra. We had a spike in stress that we're still trying to make up from. So
Mm-hmm.
Is that the vote?
that's my vote.
Sounds fine.
Is anyone rolling, or we
Oh.
just kind of?
Oh. I was just waiting for someone else to roll.
Yeah, I think we all were.
Hey, I'm the only one with an
Just gonna roll.
excuse.
Loki, you roll.
You want me to? All right. So D6 Iris, D6 for commerce.
And industry, you use both.
Oh, commerce and industry. Right. Nothing from distinctions.
Not in this case, I don't think so.
Okay. Then we had weapon stockpile.
And the Adventurers Guild, we determined
Yep.
is usable. And the gem mine can be a D6.
Okay. Right. I think that's everything.
So you pick 3 dice. So I believe with a 6, a 5, and a 4, that is exactly 15. So you do manage to balance the budget.
By a hair. I'm not doing so well with that weapon stockpile.
All right, someone roll me 2d6 real quick.
Not it.
Fine. I'll test my luck now.
Exactly in the middle.
All right.
That's either good or really bad.
Yeah. This is me calculating the damage that the orc army is doing on the countryside right now. Oh, yeah, okay. So no stress damage or anything like that. It's farther south. Little X through that. All right. Year 7 of ruling Dammerhall. Almost a decade of rulership.
That's like 2 years in Dwarven years, though.
Mm-hmm. So you get Ivy's intelligence reports on the size and relative strength of the orcish force. Caliber is still around, but his health is degrading. Up to you guys what you want to do here.
I'm for building up our military one more season. But I don't know if we think we want to risk that or just want to try to do our best.
Yeah, let's build it up.
How many more? We got, what, 2 or 3 units finished last season?
Yeah.
You got 1 unit finished last season.
I'm like
you
halfway
progressed
special
on.
unit.
Yeah, technically, while you started work on Hammer Elites and Moose Maulers, only the Iron Cloak Scouts actually made any progress.
I'm gonna try and double up this season.
I'm just going to focus on just the scouts this season, so I'll use my D8 when I do it.
All right.
So here we go. We'll not use the weapon stockpile this time because I think it's getting low, isn't it?
I think it's only got two
Two.
uses left.
I'll definitely use that 8 and 6, and I'll be a D8 kicker.
All right. It's a 2d4 difficulty because it's really close to the end. So extremely. Yep. All right. I'll get you your scouts.
I've made no progress on the Hammer Elite last season, right?
No, none.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Scouts are in there.
They'll be traveling with us this next season when we go to war.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do another Hammer Elite and Dwarf Defenders.
All right. We can do the Hammer Elite first.
Let me try it this way. Okay. So Nolgrim might forge. Weapon stockpile hasn't been working out so well for me, so I'll do that alone. I think that's it.
Uh,
10
All right.
with a D6 or D8 or no, yeah, D6 gear.
Okay. So that would
12.
be 12.
Yep. All right. All right.
With
And let's do.
raids, it's becoming more difficult to source resources for the heavier armor.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll do the defenders.
Defenders are a basic unit, so it's 2d4. So long as you beat the die, you'll construct them, which is extremely likely considering that is a 12. Yep, even with double 4s, you get your defender.
Can you run down to me splitting your action one more time, Gumbo? haven't
Yeah.
done it
So
yet.
when you split your die, you literally divide your die in half. So you're a D10, so it would be a D6 and a D4. You can choose two separate rolls. Like if the D6 goes to this one and D4 goes to that one. The only real stipulation is that you can't use both actions to do both at the exact same time. So, like, for example, if you wanted to construct Centurions, you couldn't use both double actions to construct the exact same unit, because then that's just cheesing it to double your dice pool effectively. So, but if you constructed Centurions and a Sky Sloop, you could do two separate rolls that way. Make sense?
So I don't have to split the dice pool other than my die?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to be creating more Centurions and Gladiators as well.
Cool. I believe those are both elites. Gladiators, Sky Sloops. Yeah, they're both elites.
Roll 1.
All right.
So it's going to be 7 and 6 with a D12 kicker.
All right. So if I roll lower than 12, you get your. Was this the Centurions or the Gladiators? It's the same roll either way.
This was the more Centurions.
Gotcha. And I rolled less than. Oh wait, 6 and 7. That's 13.
6 and 7. That's just too much.
Yep. But you can still roll for your gladiators.
All right.
Shame too if that had been like a 5 and a 6, then you would have fully gotten it. All right, so that looks like you're rocking a 15 with a probably a D10.
I think D8.
Oh, Heart of the Mountain, D10.
Heart of the Mountain, yeah, you're right.
All right, so if it rolls under 15, it's definitely under 15. I don't know why I wondered about that. Even if the 2d8s got maximum, that wouldn't have been. Anyway, you get your gladiators. That's the important part.
So are they two different difficulties? Why is one under 12 and one under 15?
Because your second time you got your D6 got a 5 and your Golem Foundry got a 10. So that's 15. And if you roll,
okay.
It was the exact same difficulty both times, but you just got a slightly better roll on the second one.
Gotcha.
Right. Also, I should take this moment to just quickly count up units.
Then wouldn't it have been 13 up here with a 6 and a 7?
Well, I thought you selected I thought you told me 12.
There were lots of 6s and 7s up here. There was a 6 and a 7, and I used a D12 as the kicker.
Okay. So then that would have tied. All right. So this is what I will say is that the Centurions are still under construction, but they are at 2d4 difficulty for next season now.
All right.
There we go. But you do get your gladiators. Now I just quickly count up the units here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, you're still within military budget 3. So your budget will increase if you add one more unit. But other than that, you're still good. Wait. Oh, is that right? No, it's sorry. It's because your might die is 6, so that means it's if you have 18 more than 18 units, then you go. So you're 3 away. Forget it. My mind is slipping. Up is down, cat is dogs.
Mhm.
Who's on deck?
Who's on first?
I'm trying to decide if I can bring in for fortifying the fort. That still seems like
Yeah, you
an
can
option.
continue fortifying the fort. You can try to recruit some units. Like there's clerics that obviously Taskell can be involved in. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, having more
Could
clerics
we-
doesn't hurt.
I mean, it probably won't be a kingdom action to try to find that vampire, but I think that's something we probably shouldn't lose track of.
Mhm.
Are we still on good terms with Hellspit? Could we use that scrying mirror to just check on the vampire guy that we're familiar with to see if he's still at his place or if he is the one that's here?
I mean, you
I
could be
mean-
the one to ask him, and I'm not gonna.
He is privateers. It just comes down to you hauling yourself all the way out to Port Eversteam, and then I'll do a random roll to see if he's actually in port right now because he's out there doing piratey shit.
Okay. I think I'll probably I already used my actions so far, so
Mhm.
when I make my way to Helmengoat, I'll probably make a side trek to there.
Okay. So we still have Taskell, Thrum, and Ivy's actions.
Since she already scoped out the orc army, could
Mhm.
I have her start research, like see if she can get any information on the Lady Yenshi?
Sure.
Because I'm still trying to figure that out, so I'm not sure what I would roll for that.
This would be Ivy, lore influence, kind of the same. Probably maybe historic capital, and then I guess just adventurers. That's about it. Because you're kind of going for some esoteric lore.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, double sixes with a D8 kicker. Ah, damn.
Ah, damn. Research is ongoing.
I had a really good roll. Fuck you.
And always remember, if you guys want units without rolling, there's mercenary and levy units as well.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
need
if
to
you are
hire
just making units, I would recommend another cleric, because I think we may have one of them.
some- Yeah, gonna split my action.
Okay. Thrum's typing.
Yeah, getting ready for my turn.
I'm just waiting for someone to do something. So if you want to take your turn now.
I gotta add all the numbers. I thought Kenneth was doing his.
Okay.
All right, this is for. I'm split my action. This is for training the Moose Riders.
Yep. Okay.
So I'll take the 7 and the 6 with the D12 kicker. Oh no, the 7 and the 7 with the D12 kicker. So 14.
All right. I typed it in wrong.
I'll tell you what.
Wouldn't you know it? You get yourself some Moose Riders.
Then lowering civic stress. Going to continue with what we were doing. Filling the cracks, fixing the walls, erecting the pillars.
All right. Civic stress is just a 2d6 difficulty right now, so not too bad.
I did use a weapon stockpile for my moose.
Gotcha. Thank you
You
for
want to knock
reminding
that
me.
down one. I figure we'll get other resources. Go ahead and use what we got. Did the gem mine help with rebuilding?
You're currently cut off from the gem mine due to the orc army. I'll actually just put a little X through that right now so we don't forget.
All right, that's good. 8.
Tires go to you when it comes to reducing stress. So now civic stress is a D4.
I think so.
Okay. Since she's X'd out Clan Helmengoat, I guess I'll knock them off the fort.
Yeah. Orc Pillaging's getting bad.
There. but I feel like I can bring the Forge District in on this since we're now involved in portcullises and reinforcing bits.
Yep.
And armory for the guards. Probably a bit much for just this one, but I kind of envision using the cave wall to have like archer rooms hidden in there. But we'll see what this gets us. Not a whole lot. 11 with the D8 kicker.
Right. Let's call this 8. 10. 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just barely beats it.
So it's same rule either way. Do you want this to be a permanent upgrade to the fort that might cause a budget increase, or do you want just to be like a temporary reinforcement for a possible imminent siege?
Could you repeat that?
At this point, I'm thinking permanent because
Gotcha.
hand it over to Helmengoat once we retake the area.
Yep. Then I will bump up this to a D6. Then there will be a 1 increase to the budget. I will add that to.
All right.
I would probably
Trade.
go over. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Just next action was going to, or the other split was going to be a D6 towards training clerics.
All right.
Or all 3 temples and probably the Forge District involved.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can utilize the weapon stockpile, but you already rolled. Never mind.
10 with 10 with the D8.
Yep.
Select.
So that means you succeed. With the D8 kicker, that means that you are a 1d4 to finishing training clerics. Good progress, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that just leaves. Actually, I think that lets everyone. All right. So.
I'd probably talk to Nolgrim before we head out.
Had her
Basically,
and Ivy do recon last.
Yeah.
I had to do some research this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I missed that. All right.
She failed.
I would basically tell Nolgrim that it's possible that this is just a maneuver used to draw us away from Dammerhall in order to target the city. Well, it's unguarded, and so we should be prepared in that case to use the crown to protect the innocent people there.
That's a good idea. Are you going to be remaining here in Dammerhall while I'm with my armies in Helmengoat lands? Because I don't think I'll be here to utilize that army or know if there's a need for it.
How many castings of teleport do you have, and how far away can you do it?
I don't think I ended up taking that. I think I was.
No.
Um,
Could have sworn you were teleporting all over the place. Maybe it's
Fergus
dimension.
can cast it through his axe.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
I can get back in a hurry if I need to.
So yeah, why don't I send my Centurions stay here, and if you guys see Maladraxus while you're there, you can come and grab me.
Well, I can only do it once per day, so.
Yeah. Okay. We really have no means of teleport in this party at level 15.
I mean, again, I was planning on taking it, but I think I was encouraged to go with something else.
Let me see.
I've got Dimension Door, but that's it.
Let's see.
Would we have in the city like any clerics of like sufficient level to use the sending spell?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because they could always send me a message across distance, be like, "Hey, shit's happened," and then I can teleport back to the city. That's
Yeah,
always an option.
I don't want you to be able to teleport back to the city. I want to be able to, if Maladraxxus is there on the battlefield, I want to be able to teleport to you guys.
Gotcha.
I'm staying in the city in the event that he's secretly tunneling around while we go fight these guys, and he's going to get his big revenge by targeting what we value the most.
Well, if he is there, I mean, I don't really know what I was about to say.
But if he's on the battlefield, we know where he is, and you can just come grab me, and I can help with the fight. But what level spell is teleport? 7th. Definitely don't have access to that. Artificer spells don't go that high.
Wait, we still have Caliber potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could ask Caliber if he'd be able to do such a thing in the state he's in. It'd just be a one-way teleportation from here to the battlegrounds of... I'd probably know the exact specifications of where it is.
Yeah, we'd have like a cleric on standby to message you if he's there or something.
I'll do a quick fortitude save to see if his old age is taking him yet, but you'll know that in advance.
Unless if could well, I guess none of us would know it, but Fergus with that vial of the potion of longevity.
I mean, yeah, if Fergus wants to share.
I mean, no one's brought it up to me. I don't know.
Well, no one knows if you have it.
He has clones.
Well, yeah, but if we can keep him in the body that he's actually able to be sentient in, I mean, who else is going to be immortal right now? You? Is that your plans?
So, I mean, I could see this being a discussion we're having, like, how are we going to keep this guy alive and coherent?
I would also probably discuss with him before then, because I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I don't think most of you even know I have it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that know I have that is Freya and Nolgrim, because I never told Thrum and I never told Taskell. Taskell might know because Freya might have just told him because they are family.
Then I would probably mention to Caliber, probably shortly after that first meeting, that we do have a thing that might work. Is this something that could keep you in a lucid state if you're still in this body? Is this something that would even work on someone like you?
Might prevent me from dying in this current body.
But would preventing you from dying keep you in your current state where you're able to talk to us and help?
Most likely.
Is that what you would prefer?
If you believe it'll help, then I think it might be a good idea.
At that point, then I would definitely broach it with Fergus, but wouldn't make it a big thing if he hasn't told everyone else about it.
He'd probably be willing. I'm trying to remember how many uses I have. I just have Ambrosia written down.
You drank one sip.
Oh, yeah, here we go. 6 sips left is what I have. So
it basically undid the effects of the aging effect that you had earlier in the campaign.
Yeah. So yeah, I come in playing this song. It's shots if you didn't know.
Oh yeah.
God, that's such a early 2000 song. I know it came out in 2009, but like just that whole decade. Also, it's crazy that's 14 years old. Anyway,
Check up Caliber. We're eliminating some variables.
Yep, that'll eliminate many to do a Constitution save for him this time.
Like, you got 10 years.
Give or take.
I think it takes over like 10 years or something.
Yeah, it takes 10 years, but he's got some other street miles on him as well that might affect his health. But you're certainly not gonna have to worry about it this season.
Make sure I write down that I only have certain uses left.
So
So, plan currently is if Maladraxus shows his face on the battlefield, Fergus will teleport back, let us know, and then Caliber will teleport us to the battlefield.
Yeah, that'll work. That or I'll have the cleric send a message and you guys can teleport to us. But either way, we have the option of either one.
And then I'll probably just be hovering above the entire city to see any entry points a burrowing dragon might make.
yeah, it's not exactly gonna be subtle if he does that.
Oh, look, there's another volcanic eruption over there. Oh, God, there's another volcanic eruption over there. This is like the third one this week.
Fergus will know where to find me if he shows his face there.
Maybe
Well-
building a city inside of a volcano was a questionable decision. All right, so
Oh, was it only the volcano? I was under the impression he could just burrow anywhere.
he can. I was making a joke about what Richard was saying about. Well, oh no, there's another lava eruption. Oh no, there's another lava eruption. Why does this keep happening within this city?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the fall of Dammerhall was bad city planning. You built it on top of a damn volcano, you fool.
When the ultimate resolution to your high fantasy Lord of the Rings style epic turns out the villain was an insurance scam the entire time.
The great capital city of the dwarves. They bought it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so a couple things happen at the end of this season here, which, as you have just established, one of them is not Caliber possibly passing away in old age. You have thoroughly established that. First thing is the orcs are going to start laying siege to Fort Helmengoat.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be addressing that just a moment. However, let's see. This would probably, yeah, I think this would be a Thrum thing. Thrum, you get some words from the guard here in Dammerhall that they have caught a prisoner trying to sneak into the city. That mentioned you guys by name. So they currently have him restrained in the Undergate.
Head down there.
It was one of the freelings whom we love.
All the pubs in Dammerhall slap the Freeling drinking contest. Out here just doing Freeling face.
It just doesn't even make any sense because the freelings aren't even like a race of people.
No,
It's not like.
They just wear broken shackles as like bracelets and shit to dress up.
So let's be clear: you're prejudiced against them because they're slaves.
No, I'm prejudiced against them because they're former slaves.
If they were still slaves, I'd be fine with them.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be
They're
doing what I
cool.
tell them. Oh God.
We're horrible. Anyway, prisoner.
When you get down there, Thrum, the guards down there are quite pleased with themselves for able to restrain this individual. That the lead guard there is like, hey, he was a wily one, but some of the extra security precautions going around due to the war and all that. We saw him coming in. We got some clerics from the temples who were able to confirm vampire he is. We got him down in the holding cell, gagged up, stake in the heart, holding him there for you.
I'm shocked that he didn't rip through you guys. I must commend your actions.
Yeah, we take our
Great
job very
security.
seriously, sir.
He's just gonna go in there, sipping
Nudge,
some
nudge.
blood.
For some reason, he let him do that.
That was my thought.
Good work, man.
All right. Head down there.
Listen, I've had a lot of things sneak past your guards before. Something need to catch something at some point.
To subdue a vampire. That's pretty impressive. All right. So somebody, we need to investigate those guards. Those definitely aren't our men. Just very quietly
Way too
send the whole army of
that would be
You're too
if this were an actual TV show. We would be like, in the 7 years we've had this patrol going, these incompetent buffoons have never found a single adventurer.
and somehow they just subdued a vampire. Yeah, those aren't our
These are
guys.
spawn. Kill them immediately.
Take their masks off.
That's what it would be if this was a lawful evil kingdom. Like, good work, man. I commend you. You turn around, turn to one of your aides, have them killed, and these just
These aren't our men. Have them killed.
No, they're honest wolves. If there's something going on here, you let them do it. But I agree.
So you go to the holding cell, Thrum. Now, my memory is fuzzy. Has Thrum actually met Alexei Veilcroft? Because I know Jigless was there. I know you guys went there twice.
No.
You have not.
Shit, I have not. Because the second time we went by, it was just like one of y'all went up the stairs, right? And y'all left me in the boat.
So
Although-
so let's be clear what happened.
Nogrum
He
did
comes
make-
here probably with a plan of contacting us, of like just turning himself into the first guard he sees, and then he wakes up and he's in the interrogation room with the chief of police he's never met.
Meanwhile, the giant rock man keeps punching him to stop resisting.
Although to be fair, Nogrum did bring up mention of the vampire that they encountered previously in the council as being a potential source of the wolf.
I'm gonna let how Thrum handles this.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out
Yep.
there. So it's
Did we learn nothing of the last dwarf he had cause chaos?
All right, so Thrum, you enter the holding cell. In the center of the cell is a chair. On it is a human man. He looks like his clothes used to be a fairly nice make, but they're covered in gunk and road dust now. His feet are tied to the chair and his hands are behind his back. He has a blindfold over his eyes and a wooden stake protruding from his heart. He seems completely limp, like a corpse. His dark black hair, which normally would be slicked back, is kind of disheveled at the moment.
Is he awake? Can you hear me? Out of character. Does the stake through the heart just put him out?
It returns them to corpse state, a corpse-like state. If you remove it, they come back. This is one of my greatest pet peeves in fiction, as a lot of people say. If you shove a wooden stake through a vampire's heart, it kills them. I'm like, no, it just stuns them. It doesn't makes them vulnerable to being killed because they're helpless. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of left. I guess if you're going by the Dracula movies, it's left vague in the first one, but then by Dracula 2, it's definitely established they come back if you take it out.
Yeah. Because usually you stake
I'm sure
them
in
so that
the
way they don't
novel
animate.
that I've never read, that's also established that's how it works.
Yes,
You
they
stake
establish
them,
that.
then you chop their head off, right?
Yeah, you stake them first so that way they don't wake up and rip you apart while you're in the process of sawing their head off.
All right.
Because I think
Thrum
Dracula 2
takes
and
out his ox.
Dracula 2, I think, he gets it unplugged and then sunlight maybe.
I don't know. I have the second Bela Lugosi Dracula movie, so if you're interested, we can verify this at some point.
Indeed, put it on the list. Anyways,
I've got the Dracula book in the next room. I just
Mhm.
noticed that was here. We're out of town right now, and I was randomly looking at their bookshelf, and it was all these like golf books and all this upper crust crap. And then I was like, Dracula? Well, that's out of the blue.
Dracula is I always highly recommend reading the original book Dracula because it's way easier to read than you'd think it would be from a book of that era.
Yeah,
It's-
and I love it too. Also,
Oh,
love
it's great.
the different chapters, the different.
Mhm.
I remember trying to read it
advances
one
and
time, and
storytelling.
his descriptions are good, but sometimes they go so long.
Yeah, it's still
That's
an
the only issue
artifact.
I
Of the,
have.
it's still an artifact of the time, but if you compare it to like the writings of Jules Verne, which is around the same era, it's so fucking hard to read Jules Verne. As good as his stories are, it's
Mhm.
it's like chawing on raw fiber. It's
Generally
Yeah,
in
definitely
fiction,
watch
if you're
Like, the
movies and
fiber's
stuff.
good for me, but boy, is it hard to chew.
if I'm reading a piece of fiction, I don't want to hear you describe either something that I would rather just make up in my head. This is controversial. A lot of people would really like authors who vividly describe their characters. I'm not really one of those people. I'm more. I was fine in Dune when the only description they gave their main character was that he had a slightly long nose.
I'm fine with that so long as the characters are generally human. I read a sci-fi book that was Halo that was about the Forerunners, and they never, not once in the entire book, described what a Forerunner actually looked like. And that bugged the fuck out of me because every one of the main characters was just a floating question mark in my head.
Whereas if you go and read something like Sleepy Hollow, where it's just like a fairy tale, there are legitimately like 3 or 4 paragraphs describing Ichabod Crane's fucking nose, and I'm like, God, you just said that birds nest in it. That's that's in there.
I like
they
the
say
middle
that-
ground where they give the general features and like certain iconic features of the face or like
Yeah.
appearance, but then they just don't dwell on it forever. Like, oh, this person has blonde hair, his nose is crooked, and he walks with a limp.
Yeah, if you've ever
I can
read
fill in
any,
all the other details.
if you've ever read any of H.P. Lovecraft's stuff, he's an absolute master at describing things enough that you can picture it, but not so much that it drags. He described an alien structure in literally a single paragraph. I was impressed.
Well,
But
yeah,
anyway.
he's got to save up that text space for the guagalabaloo, gaga gigoga.
And he was terrified of air conditioner. Anyway. So you're in a cell with a vampire, and Thrums, you said you just pulled out your axe.
Yep, because that's right. You chop their heads off after you stake them, right?
Yep.
You go over, put his axe to its throat, start to swing. Make sure it doesn't flinch, and then leave the room. Lock it. Go find Loki. Go find Norgrim. Tell the guards not to go in there. No one is to go in. I need to go get one of the other idiots to come talk to him. Go find Norgrim. You mentioned y'all knew a vampire. Somehow our men captured him and have him subdued, or a vampire subdued with a stake through its heart down in the cells.
Oh, really? Your men are my men.
They're claiming to be.
Can I vote for a GM inspiration point for Norgrim there?
That is the
Norgrim.
slyest bird in the world.
Out of character, whose men were they?
They were just city guards who manned the lower gate, so they were technically within your purview. They weren't TSA, but they were,
Norgrim. They're all our men. But these guys need a promotion, because if they actually took down a vampire like this, they need to be at the front of one of your armies.
I could definitely give them a commendation for that. Although I think that'd be your purview if they're. Either way, they'll get a commendation. We'll figure it out. All right, yeah. Let's. Did they tell you who it was, or did they
He's
just
unconscious.
stake first and ask questions later?
I figure we need to talk to him.
All right.
See if it's the one you know, and if not, we'll just chop off its head.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, Norgrim will go there.
Only good vampire is a dead vampire. But honestly, these boys who took him down, I guess we could give them an extra day off or something for the TSA work. But that's about as good accommodation as we have.
Oh boy, my lord! First day off this year.
You earned
hoping
it.
somebody would jump on that. You know what? Let's take
We need to
that
start
back.
giving them
Let's
days
just do
off,
a-
or they're going to unionize.
Let's
Yup.
give them a half day. They
Yeah,
can
half
leave
day.
early.
There we go.
You know what?
Phew,
Second
back on
thought.
track.
Fuck that. They pay me.
You get a whole day of rest when you're sleeping. Now get to work.
So yeah, when I'm there, do I recognize?
Yeah, he's a bit more disheveled. I wouldn't say beat up, just not as clean and tidy. But that is Alexei Vailcroft with a chunk of wood, like a broken chair inside his heart.
Wow. Okay.
Well, he'll probably help us
So
once we tell him what's going on. He seems
Right.
pretty level-headed.
just the two of us in the room with Lexi.
Yeah, if that's what you'd like.
Um,
Were y'all friendly with this one?
well, I mean, we got kicked out of his place, but he was polite enough to kick us out rather than just attack us outright.
So is he going to be pissed off that when he came to your place, they stabbed him through the heart?
I mean, maybe, maybe not. He did sneak in.
Did he eat
They have
some
no
of
way
our
of knowing.
guys?
A couple of your crewmen that you hired, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll care that much.
All right.
Jiggler stole his silver.
All right. Yeah.
Oh my
Milgram will
God.
remove the stake and take a few
that
steps
was
back.
that was an amazing bit of role play
Mhm.
with Cope playing Jigless, where he's like, "To be fair, good sir, you attacked us first." Then he grapples him, shakes Jigless, and all the stolen silverware falls out. Okay, so fair point.
God.
Yeah, so you remove the wooden stake from his chest with a wet, slicking sound. If this was a person, you'd expect like the sudden like rush intake of breath as they regain consciousness. But he's undead, so he just kind of starts moving with no
Yeah.
particular resuming of consciousness.
The classic just eyes open, but the rest of his body doesn't really move or anything like
I
that.
mean, he's blindfolded at the moment.
I got you. Oh, Milgram would have taken the blindfold off and then
Yeah.
move the stake.
Mhm.
And I think you said, was he also bound to the chair?
Yes.
I'll leave the bindings just for a second, but yeah, we'll not unbind him or unblindfold him and remove the stake.
Like you said, his eyes just open. Flicks to you, flicks the thrum. He dissolves into mist and then reforms behind the chair, but no longer in bindings. And he's like touching his wrists. Never gets easier each time. So you found your city.
And so did you.
Well, you've been sending a lot of stuff out into the ocean recently. Wasn't hard.
Fair. So what brings you here?
Remember that Kraken?
I.
Finally got to go inside of it.
Oh. Anything interesting?
Its brain is gone.
Oh, motherfucker. Like.
How oh motherfucker was that in or out of character?
that was in character.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going around lately, and it's really starting to irk me. So, is that you discovered that and came right here, or?
No, I investigated around a little bit more. There was no exterior wound. Something killed it from the inside. I spent longer than even a vampire would find pleasant walking around inside that titanic beast's guts. Something got in. I found starts patting his vest. Guards didn't take it. I want to ask them about that. He pulls out a little glass vial, and inside of it is a little creature. It's probably the length of like a pinky finger. It kind of looks like a tadpole, but it's got like a tiny little leech mouth. It's got these two teeny tiny little feelers coming off the front of its head that it like uses to maneuver around.
Would I recognize it?
Give me an Arcana check. This one's going to be very hard. And you managed to hit the very hard DC, so good for you. You have heard stories of aberrant creatures that dwell deep within the Underdark. That consume brains like you would consume ale. And on 25, you have heard stories that they don't reproduce like people do, but via implanting tadpoles into people's brains, which parasitically take over their body. You do not know their true name, but the talk around Underdark taverns is some people call them mind flayers.
Is Loki the only one who hasn't played BG3?
I've played BG3.
Okay.
Nolgrim just didn't know this in character.
Yes.
I swear to God,
An
every
excellent
time
job.
I hear BG3, my brain tries to autocorrect it to BJ3, and I know that's not right, even though that does definitely happen in that game.
Yeah, in a row or at the same time.
And a kraken is basically like a massive, almost like Leviathan octopus creature. Or I'm trying to remember what it looks like.
A huge Leviathan octopus creature. Their exact look varies from setting to setting. I'm kind of going with the part 5th edition one, where it's a lot of tentacles, but it's also got like a central body that's kind of Jason and the Argonauts.
Okay.
But they are ancient, like almost primordial Leviathans that live for like eons and can control the weather. Oftentimes, big, scary sea beasts, ancient power, that kind of thing.
So, would I know from that 25 Arcana what sort of would this thing have killed the Kraken, or would it have just feasted on its corpse, like a,
well,
carrion?
The way you hear it discussed is that mind flayers consume fresh brains, and from that are able to glean knowledge from the brains that they consume as well, according to rumor. So if a Kraken is incredibly old, and they're also way smarter than movies and stuff would have it, they're like 18 intelligence. So you're dealing with the mind of an incredibly old, incredibly ancient being that's probably seen things like you wouldn't be able to believe. Alexei, showing that to you, says, I'm not 100% certain on what any of this means, but anything that could take down a Kraken from the inside had to be trying really very hard.
So there is a Nolgrim will kind of look over to Thrum, just kind of think, they've got nothing to lose. The world is very much on the line. I feel like the more people that know, the better. And go on and kind of say, kind of without giving like, caliber insights or anything like that, just kind of let them know the dragon situation, the whole, potentially, end of days scenario.
Yeah. And because he clearly doesn't know what a mind flayer is. Do you fill in on that?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. That would explain what I've been researching then. So do you remember when you were in my house and you so rudely went into the basement through the secret passages and you began assaulting my patients?
After some of our crew went missing, yeah.
Yeah. Silence. Anyway. that some of my vampiric patients who I reanimated, I was attempting to diagnose them on account that I noticed they were losing, well, they didn't have a brain. Their skull had been cracked open from the back and seemed to be extracted when I found them. So it would appear that whatever, he shakes the little thing in the vial, made this, has been eating.
Nogren will then go on to describe, the assassins that came through that we saw that, had their skulls hollowed out too.
Oh, the Drow assassins had brains.
Oh, what was, there was somebody among them that did it.
The Drugar who were with, not the Drugar, the dwarves that were with Tomas. Had empty heads but no puncture wounds.
Oh yeah, that's right. Would say that there was a clan, a faction of one of our clans that was infiltrated, in the sense that those that rose up were later fined brain.
Well, then logic would dictate whatever did this to my Kraken is also after you. Here's my instinct to bring this to your attention was the right one.
I think we're gonna have to. How? I guess the question is, you're obviously wary of all this. Would you want to be involved with trying to rectify what's going on in whatever capacity you can? Because at this point, with the stakes, Nogren would take that moment and realize phrasing. Fuck, sorry.
Just another hallway.
Yeah, it's just like, with the stakes. I don't know you like that, man. Sorry. We ain't that close.
Are you willing to offer whatever help you can to get to the bottom and potentially, stopping what is going to happen if Maladraxxus finds what he's looking for?
You mean Encephalon?
What was that?
You said Maladraxxus. Maladraxxus is the red one with the orcs. Encephalon.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
The psychic one.
Psychic one, yeah.
Yep. Big dragons. I have no reason not to believe you about the world-ending threat. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I literally found a dead Kraken killed by whatever's happening, I might be more suspicious, but anything that could kill a Kraken. I could do some investigation on my own. I can slip through the Underdark a little bit lesser seen than perhaps you can. I suspect you don't want me hanging around in your nice city.
No.
Nogren kind of rolls his eyes and say, only if you maintain, guest rules. But I think,
just so we're 100% clear, I drink people.
I know, and that's why it'd be complex.
Who are the undead hunters? Who are the paladins? And how many temples of clerics do we have?
Yeah, you've got a bunch of temples of clerics of paladins.
Nogren will say it would not be an easy sort of thing staying here.
We've also got a surplus of orcs you could help with.
That's true. We are actually on a wartime footing because yet another dragon has decided to raise an army of orcs and come knocking at our door.
Right.
So it's an unpleasant
Maladraxxus, I remember. Last year here, you came asking at my library for the book about him.
Right. Yeah, we pissed him off.
I assume since you went into his lair and you lived, that yes.
We stole a lot from him, which I hear is bad with the red dragons.
Generally. My experience.
Although we do have a researcher among us, I could probably see if I could get Freya and see if she has she could find a place for you, but otherwise, probably be tricky to linger around on your own here.
I suspect you don't want me to linger around here,
No,
considering what happened last time when
Yeah.
I took some of your crew members who were people that you didn't like.
No, that's fair.
So
Okay. Yeah. Is there? I'm trying to think. Is there a way we could maintain contact? Like maybe send him off with a sending stone or something?
he can just promise to stay in more frequent contact with you.
Okay.
The Underdark has lots of little side tunnels, and considering there's no daylight to stop him, and he can literally turn into a vapor, he can kind of get into most places pretty easily. God knows why in more fantasy settings vampires aren't just ruling the Underdark. I don't know.
Right.
mhm.
They really seem like they should be in charge down here.
Is he proposing going back to his place, or is he proposing just wandering the Underdark?
Wandering for now. If you
Okay.
mention the Dergar ruins, he can start looking into some of those for you.
I'd actually probably point out the have we had any previous discussion with the broken lab? I feel like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to let him go there.
I mean, at least he seems all he wants to do is eat people.
Yeah.
It's not like the worst villain we have down here.
And I mean, that's right on the hub between orcs and drow. So, so
Yeah,
he has
he
plenty to choose
Pick
from.
up a few of them.
So I think I would make mention of that broken lab in the Durgar ruins and say that that'd probably be a good place for you to hold up.
All right, I can start looking into it. You want this? Holding the vial, little tadpole in it.
Yeah, I'll take hold of that. And
All
for
right,
Anything that small
Is
that
the
can eat a
tadpole
Kraken's
alive?
brain.
it is.
Good to know.
Yep, very carefully. All right.
So are you saying that this little thing ate the brain of a Kraken?
I
Or is
don't
this
think
the
this.
seed?
I think this is the seed, or at least whatever did eat the brain of the Kraken left it behind.
So, is it did you see any indication that it might have been an infestation or just one of a few?
I did find several crawling around in there.
Okay. Oh, makes me all the more
Did you
glad we
destroy?
didn't go deeper into it ourselves.
Did you destroy the others?
Not on purpose.
Did you capture them, or should we worry about going out there and trying to find them?
Wait, what do you mean not on purpose?
I might have stepped on one.
Oh, but not to the greater collective.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a man of science, first and foremost. You don't tend to start judiciously smashing things you don't understand.
Very fair. No, I feel like this one, now that we know what it is, maybe not the worst. Anyways, all right. I'll see to it that you're able to leave here unaccosted. Or you could probably do that on your own, thinking on it, couldn't you?
Depends on what
How
story
did
you want
they,
to tell your
question
guards.
for you. How did our men subdue you?
Oh, I went in through one of the arrow slits. And I was trying to work my way down the tower. They actually did notice me moving in humanoid form. I just didn't fight to kill anyone because I was coming to talk to you. Remember what happened last time? Surprised they knew about the wooden stake thing.
Okay. Well, I apologize for your treatment.
That's what
Next
I expected.
time, you might knock on the gate.
Most people don't respond too well when a vampire asks for permission to enter.
Touche.
I think I'm personally good to just let him walk out or leave on his own accord and just kind of let the guards know if, oh yeah, he's a friend
Well,
from previous adventures.
I'll walk him to the gate and
Mm.
walk with him. And Thrum would ask him kind of the backstory of all the interactions and then what brought him down here and all the things our characters had learned that Thrum doesn't know, so that'd bring his knowledge back up.
Yeah. As he's heading out with you, Thrum, when he's on the gate, he goes, "Oh, it was less important, but I figure I might bring it up. You haven't had contact with that drow friend of yours, have you?"
Which one? That female?
Yeah, she was in my house. Hestia?
Oh, no, not in a long time.
Hope everything's ended all right for her. I arranged her passage to get to the Demon's Gate so she may go home. I had a few of my bats tail her for a little bit. She seemed to have been taken directly into custody, last I saw. And I lost track of her. Don't know if that's just how drow greet each other or not, so...
Don't know about that race. They
That
seem to
sounds about
stab
right.
each other in the back. Yep. They stab each other in the back more than they do their enemies.
He absentmindedly fiddles with the hole in his shirt over his heart. Yeah. Anyway, didn't know if you would know. Your group seemed close to her.
I'm trying to remember out of character. Was she originally in Fungal Jungle because she was kicked out by her?
Yep.
Yeah.
Her and her cousin who you killed.
Mm.
She was totally fine with you killing, by the way.
Right.
She was actively aiding in that. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, your group seemed close to her, despite her protests, so... Didn't know if you'd heard anything. It's been a few years.
We weren't close of my accord.
Unlike me, your family didn't try to kill her on sight, so I just assumed.
She's probably dead. All those drow are just animals.
As the only 3,000-year-old person in this conversation, I'm going to really abstain from taking opinions right now.
Indeed.
I'm going to go.
Yep. If you ever need any opinions, you know where to find me.
He has plenty of them.
Yep. Yeah. He'll take his leave into the Underdark.
Do you?
So, Fort Helmengoat is under assault. The Orcish army is pressing in.
Pretty sure we're heading there right now.
Yes.
Start having skirmish attacks be my action, trying to whittle them down. They came to us.
Well, let me, Yes, so it's really a question if you want them to actually try to fight it out, if you want them to give ground for the oncoming Orcish horde, or if you want to... Yeah, I guess it's just two options. If you want them to hold ground or give ground, because you guys at the top of this next season will be marching to their aid, but you're not quite there yet.
I mean, I could be there in like 2 minutes.
There.
Yeah. I mean, if that comes through the beacons...
I was actually going to ask, could I, if everyone else wants to marshal the army, I can go there ahead of time as, a rallying force for our army that's there already.
Yeah. And as a careful reminder, if there's any mass combat, even player characters not present, the players themselves still get to command troops. You can still play,
I would like to go with you, Fergus.
Yeah, I mean, you are the military leader.
Mm.
As long as we have some people marshaling the troops to march that
Yeah,
we
for
have
sure.
still here. Yeah,
Alright.
if I could take me and Nolgrim and I don't know how many
Sure.
people can you take and teleport anyway.
Quite a few.
I was gonna say, could I take my special minions?
I mean,
Iron
that's
Cloaks?
20. It's 20 people.
That's
so
what I was. That's what I was asking because I wasn't sure exactly the number.
yeah.
Let me check real quick. It was 8 willing creatures. So no, so just me and Nolgrim then.
Yeah.
It was worth asking.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll teleport to Helmengoat after we decide if we're gonna try to like. I
Mhm.
imagine we're gonna try to maintain the ground if me and him are going. So
Yeah. All right. One moment here. Discuss amongst yourselves while the DM clickety clack some stuff.
while we're waiting, I did actually have a question for you, Loki.
Yes.
Just because I'm not sure, I haven't done you as a DM when we're doing like a homebrew style like setting.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious if you're doing like an overarching plot kind of style, or are you doing more like an episodic like situation for the story at the beginning? Like, do you have a plan in mind for like the overarching plot, or is it going to be like a episodic one where we're going to make the plot as we develop the story?
There is an overarching plot that kind of happens in various arcs.
Gotcha.
But there's going to be plenty of sandbox in between.
Gotcha. Because some people go in and they're like,
Space
they don't have
pirates
an
is what I
overarching
heard.
plot. They make the plot as it develops. Like, okay, well, they really had an antagonistic goal towards this character, so he's going to become the main villain now.
Yeah, no, I have an overarching plot in that regard.
Okay. It's not too important or anything. It just does determine kind of like how you approach a game, I feel like.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm more than happy to answer questions like that.
I found an image that I might use for my drone for my goblin. Where is it? Here it is. Post it to the group. Just he has a mechanical buddy.
Nice. But he's a little goblin too.
Now, is he goblin-sized goblin, or is he like a mini goblin?
It depends on which drone I use. Also, there's an upgraded picture of that same image. This is when he gets upgraded.
I like the idea of you have a goblin that looks just like you, so you can pretend like you're going out into battle. Meanwhile, you're hiding in a cabinet somewhere.
Let's see what kind of drones I could have. This probably wouldn't be a flying drone. Where's the chassis? There it is. Because yeah, there's a combat drone, which is a medium creature, which would be a bigger goblin than me.
Big
Yeah.
brother.
Make a
You wouldn't
bigger
like him when
goblin
he's
and then
angry.
ride on its back like Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie. I'm ready.
Honestly, there's most of the drones are medium creatures. I could technically have a mount.
All right. I'm ready on my end here. So luckily, with the construction the task was commissioned at Port Helmengoat, there is dwarven stonework for Fergus to teleport to. So as you teleport into the fort, it is mostly stone now. It's no longer a lean-to battlement, but it's not a massive emplacement. They don't have any siege equipment or anything like that outside of the troops that you've guaranteed here. But what you do hear is you do hear the sound of approaching orcish marching. Very proud that I found a nice sound effect for this.
Mhm.
And I will move you over to that map real quick. Yeah, you guys should be able to see the battle map now.
Mhm.
That green area is where the orcs will be deploying.
Mhm.
The little blue boxes I made, that's the fort. Anything with inside those blue boxes get +3 AC. And you got little kill boxes, as per Kenneth's request, that you can house ranged units in. They can't be attacked until someone gets into the fort itself.
Can we put the mortars in the kill box or no?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because we can put like the mortar. Oh yeah. Or with the mort, I guess the corals wouldn't be able to shoot across the keep, would they? But the mortars could. So maybe the coralers should be up there. Because the mortars
Yeah, because
have
remember
distance.
there is facing with this, so
Mm.
Yeah, so the coralers.
That's true. I think we could do the mortars and just have them lobbing over the wall.
Yeah. Like have the mortar. Or which units have the mortars? Are they the elite units or basic?
I believe they're elites.
Yeah.
Rock
they're elites.
lobber catapults, runic mortars. Here we go.
Can
Yeah,
the kill
range of
boxes
4
fire forward,
spaces.
or they
Four
No,
spaces.
crawl?
they're
the mortars.
only into the center.
So they can fire up to here if we put the mortars right there.
Mhm.
So that's good range, I think.
I say put clerics there. I see what clerics do.
I think they can be inside the blue.
Yeah, they can be inside the blue box.
Right. I'm thinking we would probably want our
Hammer elites for sure up
Yeah.
there.
these guys.
Also,
Now, what's
Actually-
stronger, the goat cavalry or the moose maulers?
Moose maulers, but how would they do inside?
certainly couldn't get all their fancy charging stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see real quick.
Honestly, it depends on what we're facing down against. But
I was gonna say maybe keep our meese in reserve and put the goat cavalry as part of the front lines for now, so they can't
Okay.
get in on us.
Said the goat cavalry.
I would think so. Just save our moose ones for when we have more range to start approaching outward.
Yeah. When we need to start with, if they break through.
Yeah.
'Cause
Then they could just charge right through the empty space if one of the units winds up going down.
And are the clerics able to access the units? Basically just dancing between here. Okay. So yeah, we'll have the clerics. Try and keep them alive. Let's put the.
Also, I assume you're gonna have the quarrelers angled like this.
Yeah. I see what the basic units. Okay.
Also, don't forget to decide where Nilgrim and Fergus is, and then also put little dots for everyone else who gets to control whose units.
I forget. What did the having your character on a unit do again?
You have a number of hero points equal to your character level, so 15 at this point. And you can expend hero points on a 1-to-1 basis to add to your unit's AC, attack rolls, or morale checks. And you can expend a number of hero points in a single roll equal to your proficiency bonus.
Gotcha.
I should just bring up tokens onto the map so that way you could use those for initiatives.
And
So
the characters can swap units eventually, right?
Yes, so long as it's logical that you could.
Yeah.
So we don't get to bring all the units that we just created?
Not
Well, they
yet.
just teleported down there, is what they did.
Because they're already attacking while we're getting ready to march.
Gotcha,
so we were coming down ahead of time to kind of like buy time while the rest of the units get here.
Yes.
Would you want to come with?
I think she was staying behind until we see
Okay.
the
Yeah, I'm
dragon.
staying behind just to make sure that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
doesn't sneak up
Mhm.
from our
Yep,
flank.
that's right. Okay.
But
All
I
right.
will control the runic mortars.
Let's move the moose maulers back a bit. So if people do fall back, they get a little bit of a charge in and get to take advantage of that ability.
I'll control the quarrelers.
Okay.
Also, I have my character on the dwarf defenders, but if someone else wants to control them, that's fine. I just figured that'd be the best one for having a hero unit on, at least at the moment.
I mean,
I want to be the
Yeah,
goat herders.
everybody go ahead and grab a unit.
You can't see what I'm doing. It had to be said.
All right. Everyone set up.
I would suggest moving the runic mortars up further because they only have a 4-line range.
The only issue is then it would block the clerics from being able to move
Yeah,
and support
Back and
the
forth. Yeah.
front
Okay.
line.
Okay.
Oh, can
That's
the
the reason why I had them a
clerics
little bit
heal
farther.
diagonally? Could the
I thought we
clerics
had
heal
they
like
can
this?
diagonal stuff, can
They can heal diagonal.
Oh, they can.
Yeah.
And then within because ranged units can attack diagonal. So
Then I think this would be the best formation, if not.
The Meese are back there ready to charge as soon as they have an opening,
Yeah.
or if there's anything in the issue.
We're hitting them with the Zulu bullhorn formation right here.
All right, everyone settled.
Yep.
All right. Reveal the
Anybody want the moose maulers or the dwarf defenders?
You can take control of the moose, and this Thrum wants them. I imagine.
Sure, I'll grab the mooses.
The Moo Maulers.
I did give birth to half of them.
The Moolers.
Bilgamil?
Do we want to swap the Hammer Elite with the goats? Or do you want the Hammer Elite at the... No, the Hammer Elite are...
Whoever
Which
has
one has the
best-
highest AC should
Yeah,
probably.
I was about to say that. Hammer Elite have 18. Go cover at 15. And
Wait,
what's
didn't we have a Dammer guard here too? Or no? They
Nope.
haven't shown it yet.
The
form
Dammer,
just have
you only
sections,
had
yeah,
one
elite.
unit of
They're
Dammer
over
guard.
by the port.
Gotcha.
And the guard's over by the port.
We have another dwarf and defender at the port.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guys good?
I love all
Yep.
these medieval pictures and then a couple of mortar tubes.
Yeah, just a couple
Yeah.
of orders.
Yep.
All right.
Run away!
Well, we do have them confined.
Mm-hmm.
Thermopylae the shit out of this. Of course, the 300 died.
Yeah. And no one ever talks about the 2,000 other guys behind the 300.
Mhm.
All right. I will pop up the
Look.
initiative here.
Fergus, if you become a martyr here, all the dwarves will rally.
So please kill yourself.
Then Nolgrim can. No, Nolgrim, you're there
I
too.
can't.
No.
Yeah, Nolgrim can no longer become king.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll be a battle for secession, and then it'll be a whole other story while the world's imploding.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But I mean, if I die, you can force your hand in there and remove that metal out of me before you revive me. Dig
All right.
around in there a little bit.
So, we'll be rolling for initiative here. Yeah, put your tokens on screen. Rather than using dexterity, use either charisma or intelligence.
I'll just roll initiative and -2 of it since
Yep.
my dexterity is so high.
And if you are not physically present on the battlefield, then you will just roll with a +2.
Okay.
Because we'll assume that whatever dwarven sub-commander is at least baseline competent at their job.
15. You can just add those to the turn order.
And turn.
All the yellows are a 20.
All these squares make a circle.
I was just gonna say that. I don't even remember what that's from anymore.
Dragon Ball Bridge, Mr. Popo.
Oh,
All
yeah.
these squares make a circle. All
Well, I thought
these
it was a
squares
reference-
make a circle.
I thought that was.
It probably is
referencing
a
the-
reference, but that's what I immediately think of when I hear it.
So
Because the internet has effectively destroyed my brain.
Drums on the initiative, Fergus on the initiative. I'll add Pascal and.
I mean, I typed it
Walbrow.
in. It's the first thing that shows up on Google. That's for sure.
Yep.
All these squares
Uh,
make
Actually, I'm thinking we want the defenders in the center. If it's not too late to swap them,
Yeah,
they could.
I asked
Okay.
like 4
Nope,
times.
that's
to
right.
get
That's right. You're
ready.
good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yep, you're right. I was just looking at the abilities now, and so yep, nope, that's fair.
You want to move your hammer?
No,
Oh, you said you wanted him in the center. I thought.
yeah,
I-
but it was too late. He already
yeah.
Too late, okay.
revealed everything. So yeah, no, that was very fair.
No, you're fine.
because that's why I kept their formation hidden because
Nope,
you
you're
don't
right.
always know what their formation is going to be.
Yep. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, because I think there's the animation for that bit. They're in the hyperbolic time chamber, and it's a bunch of squares doing a circle thing.
I'll add drums to the initiative.
But I digress. All these squares
Uh,
make a circle.
I think we need. Okay, Nolgrim's 11. We just need one from
It's
Taskell now.
20 plus what you said.
Intelligence or charisma.
Yeah, one of these.
Well, he's
plus
not in the. I thought he said he's
minus.
not on the map, so he's just a flat +2.
Is that not him right there?
Isn't it with the clerics?
Oh, he came with us. Okay, I thought we.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I'm having a day today.
It's okay.
I had to leave work early, and I went to go get something to eat on the way home because I was starving at the same time. And when I was in the drive-thru, I just puked into the bushes. I just opened my door and
Oh,
puked,
God.
and then shut the door.
Mhm.
I had a migraine, so that's all it was.
That is a day.
Yeah. Do this orange line. I'm deleting that. All right. So leave this deployment area 1. Keep that nice and clean.
You can still surrender.
So let me check the
I
stat blocks.
surrender.
Okay. Oh, right. I should do this that way. It's easier. Hold on.
But do they have artillery?
There we go.
You had to ask. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I see they have dragons over there.
I got Drake Riders.
God, and now they got dwarves that are shaking around everywhere and don't even know where they are. Shell shocked.
All right. So these
Oh, they
ones
got
are going to
bards.
step up. Yeah, I had a lot of fun time thinking about like what type of magic orcs would be using. Like a lot of people like to go shamanism because they really dial into the savage thing. But I had like a
Mhm.
brain blast moment. I'm like, war horns and battle drums. That's for
Mhm.
marching and going to war. I'm like, that's bardic magic. So I like the
That's
ideas that
absolutely bards.
use bardic magic the most. I like the idea of that.
Or what's that Pathfinder class? The
Oh,
Scalds.
skull. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now these guys are in range. So we are going to get an opening volley starting from left to right here.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, the Goat Riders.
Miss.
Stay open. Here we go.
That +3 AC is probably a coming clutch.
Yep.
Yep.
So Goat Riders. Huh.
Miss.
Natural 1. Miss.
Yes.
Hammer Elite.
Fall into our trap.
19.
That'll miss with the +3.
And then the Defenders. 11.
Miss.
All right. Fergus's contingent.
Take him out, boy.
The Quarrelers can reach these guys, right? It's 3 squares.
It has to be directly diagonal.
So could that one get this one? Because this is, or what's directly diagonal though? Because this is literally directly diagonal.
Oh yeah, sorry. It can get that one.
Okay. So they can get that one, and this one can get this one then.
Yes.
Okay.
Just can't focus fire yet.
That's fine. So first one, the one attacking the one on the right. 12.
That'll miss.
Attacking the one on the left.
That'll hit.
Okay. And
So it's your
do
damage.
4
multiplied.
weapon damage, and there's 100 of them, so that's 400 damage. Is that how that
400.
works?
Yep. And then I will divide that by their health.
Oh god, I forgot about the math.
Yep. Don't worry. I way simplified it compared to how it used to be. So that's gonna be 26 casualties. And then I will perform a morale check for them.
Come on, natural 1.
Run away! Look at the goats in front of you.
Let me check something here. Are they within?
It's just a bunch of goats that are chewing on cave grass, and they're just laughing. Like, have you ever heard ghosts when they sound like they're laughing?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Just a bunch of
Got
them
it.
doing that.
Has advantage on this because they're within 6 squares of the war shrine. So DC 10. Doesn't matter. First one got it. So they are not wavering. All right.
That's the
Grum's
Quarrelers.
contingent.
The goat herders will eat grass.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a defend action or
Shit.
anything like that?
Yeah, you can take the dodge action disadvantage on attacks.
All right, dodge action.
All right. Double move, double move. Single move.
Don't feel bad, men. Dwarves don't feel pain. Is that true? No, but it's it makes you feel better if you think it is.
No, they want them to feel the pain. They're orcs.
All
Fucking
right.
orcs.
Freya.
Let's see. Am I even in range of anything right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Can't do nothing.
All right. Elgrim's contingent.
Is ready to attack a thing units could
Not
do?
in army combat, no.
Okay. All right.
Probably just dodge them.
Yeah, I think they'll both be dodging.
All right. Taskell.
Probably just dodge. Double checking my options.
They can
reading
bless, I
final rights.
believe. I'm not sure if you want to use that or not, because you only have 4 per battle for a cure.
Yeah, they're both 1 turn. To 3, nothing's further. Yeah, so just I guess dodge.
All right. Basic orc units. Ogre mob's gonna move up. Archers are gonna do their thing again. Let's see here. I believe bards are in range now.
Hey, we's the ogre mob.
They've got 4 range on the bows. Yeah, that makes sense.
Take out their fucking Dawn.
I like how ogres in fucking Pathfinder just became like weird, crazy redneck creatures.
They're all from Florida.
Well, I mean, it gives them some distinction versus just giants.
Yeah. Gotta do something. All right, so against the goat riders here, more arrows incoming. 17.
And miss.
All right.
Let's see it.
Against
Yeah, just by a point because it's the +3.
Yep, against the hammer elites. 17.
That'll miss.
All right, and this bard right here is going to use one of their inspire limited uses.
Also, these be at a disadvantage anyway, I think, because they're all
Oh, right, yeah.
defended.
Yeah. I was just going to see if it
So,
hit.
last one, this is going to be against defenders. Natural 20 and 12, but because of the inspire, they get to add a d6. 15.
Still a miss.
All right.
Thank God we had it defended.
Although to be fair, that 15 still would have missed. Their base.
Yeah, but the
is
natural
16,
20
but
Natural
yeah,
20
absolutely.
would've.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
All right. Burke is his contingent.
I'm going to continue trying to thin out the archers.
Okay.
So the one on the left that's already been wounded. 17.
That'll hit.
That's another 400.
All right.
You start yelling, "Eat less, fatty!"
The other archer on the other side. 13.
That
That's an amount.
will just hit.
So 400.
All right. So a couple advantaged morale checks here. This one, well, below 50%, so it'll just be flat, but that still succeeds. The other one also succeeds. They're holding strong.
And that's the quarrelers.
All right. Drums contingent.
They have a once per fight ranged attack of 2.
Yep.
That does not reach.
Not within range yet.
And they will keep dodging.
All right. Elite unit's turn. 2.
And the environment has gotten target rich.
Release the mortars.
All right. That's what they're gonna do for now. Except for all right. Freya's contingent.
Yes, it's time for them to feel the fire of the mortars. What do you guys think?
Focus fire.
I think.
I mean, they could. I think they can't do
Armor
complete
this I can't read what this unit is.
This one in the middle is Orog veterans.
Should I attack the important veteran unit or all these
Yeah,
models?
I would say focus fire on the veterans.
Well, he said that you had to do a complete diagonal to hit diagonally.
Oh,
So I wasn't sure if
Oh,
you
it-
can.
that was
No,
for the
no.
kill box, wasn't it?
That's within the
Yeah.
arc. It's.
Yeah.
I was establishing a firing arc.
okay.
I was saying
That's
because
yeah.
that's the absolute maximum. You couldn't go like this. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say focus fire on the veterans.
Cool. Then 2 attacks on the veterans.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Those will both hit. What's the? It's 20 fire
20
damage
times.
times 20 times 20
400 each.
each. All right.
800
Boom.
damage.
I put the cone measuring tool in a 30-degree angle, and that kind of looks like it's a good
I think it was 4 or
firing
5.
angle.
Yeah, but you're firing from inside a structure. So
Yeah.
I think that's what he's trying
Well,
to do.
I'm not just-
Well,
But I was
also,
thinking
also
in
it
general.
comes to effect with facing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
just looking.
All right, so they'll do their advantaged morale check because you got 20 of them. Oh yeah, definitely succeed.
There
Someone
you go.
with that. His
Yeah,
face.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you rain fire, but the veterans are still coming in hot.
Prepare for the next volley.
Nolgrim's contingent.
Both be dodging.
All right. Haskell.
They're
Still
very
on
brave,
range
brother.
of big strike. If it was longer than one turn or more than one unit, that'd be great. But yeah, I guess just dodge because
All right. So ogre mobs are going to be dashing. They can't attack yet this turn. The center archer here will rain arrows down on the hammer elite. $15 will miss. These ones are going to dash here, dash here, leaving the firing arcs from the towers. And that'll do that. Fergus's contingent.
If I rotate, could I fire upon the Drake archers or the Drake riders?
You mean through a wall?
Oh, I wasn't sure if there was. I thought there was like. You said towers. So I wasn't sure if it was like.
Well, it's
There was
built
openings.
into the side of the cavern.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I'm
This
just
is-
I'm making
yeah,
sure I
this-
understand.
Yep.
Could I hit the veterans there?
I believe so. They are in that 45 arc. Both.
Yeah.
With both archers.
Yeah, because I was going to target
Warriors.
both of them with both of the archers.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to whittle down the ones that look dangerous since the archers are out of range. Like the two that I was shooting at anyway.
Mhm.
Anyway, first shot against the Orog. Second shot.
Against the veterans,
Yeah,
that all pings off their heavy armor.
I figured. That's all I got.
All right. Drum's contingent.
Goat herders.
Goats are back, bitches.
All right, you're gonna attack the ogre mob in front of you.
Indeed.
18 will hit.
Destroy them all.
What's your damage?
Oh god, I've closed
It's
them.
400
I
again.
Found them.
It's 100
again?
units, 4
Uh,
damage.
All right.
+3 to attack, 4 weapon damage. Yes.
All right.
400.
So you kill 6 of the 60 ogres.
Yeah, they're meaty bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I need more teeth.
Yeah, there's
If we had a unit right here, like if the mooses came up here, could they
Well, that's
attack diagonally?
That's kind of inside. Okay, so
Mhm.
that if they were right there, no, because that's kind of inside like your internal battlements. Now the upside is you're shielded from fire in there, like total
Mhm.
cover.
Yeah.
So the clerics wouldn't be able to affect everyone, but hypothetically, you could put a cleric in there and he'd be able to buff exclusively them
Mhm.
without any issue. All right. Elite time. So going to dash, 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 dash. Now, orcs have an ability, or if they're within melee range at the end of a dash, they can make a free melee attack.
Hmm.
So the Orog veterans are going to attack the Hammer Elite.
I mean, better them than some of the other ones.
Mhm.
Yep. You dodged, right?
Yes.
Oof! Thank God.
Yep. Yep. All right, that's a miss.
Yep. And these puppies will take another step closer.
What is this thing?
That's a
Battle
battle box.
Guards.
Ah.
So probably good target for a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mortars?
Orders
Well,
might
I'm
wanna
just
start.
turn's not quite over yet. I'm just checking.
No, I was, yeah, we were just strategizing.
Yep. Okay. Freya.
All right. Let's continue the focus fire on these veterans.
All right.
Boom, boom.
You're getting really good rolls.
Mhm.
Yeah, because those will both hit.
I've been told I'm an exemplar at warfare. In another life, I was Alexander the Great. However, all the land on this earth has been conquered, so right now I'm just a nerd playing tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah, they're still
That was
holding
brilliant.
strong.
Michael, I'm stealing that.
All right. Milgrim's men.
What can I do as my character to aid in combat?
You got hero points. You can expend them on a 1-to-1 basis to add to your AC or your attack rolls or your morale checks.
All right, I'll add a 1 to the attack on this one.
All right.
Hammer elites against the veterans.
Yep.
And if they hit, they have disadvantage on morale checks.
16.
That'll miss.
Damn.
An Ogrum.
You're not the
Wow.
only one with tanky bitches.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think the dwarf defenders will also try to focus on the veterans.
Okay.
No, actually, we'll take out the ogre or do some damage to the ogre mob so they're now at full strength.
All right.
Since my hero unit's there, I'll add 2 to the roll.
All right.
Okay. 24.
That'll hit.
That would be 400 damage.
Yep.
So-
They lose 6.
Yep.
Whoop. Nope.
Yay!
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
Just slightly.
All right. Still holding strong. The presence of that war shrine that's shaped like a dragon made out of wood and metal is really invigorating the troops morale-wise. Taskell.
Mhm. Well, it's the most damaged thing in front of us, and possibly the most damaging. We haven't seen them land a hit, so ranged attack on.
Oh, the veterans? All right. So that is 80
Probably
damage.
not a hit.
Oh, 8 to hit. Oh, yeah. You used
Um,
your normal range attack, not the magic strike.
Doesn't
Gotcha.
magic the magic strike? Oh, normal range attack, not the 8 doesn't hit. Sorry, I thought you were using your magic strike ability, which is auto damage. Yeah, 8
Well-
doesn't hit.
Yeah, no.
I was confused too, Gombo, so
Yeah.
it's not just you.
Yep.
I forgot that they actually have ranged options other than that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, 8 does
Yeah.
not hit. All right.
It is also magic, but
Yeah.
So first things first, center archers are going to continue raining arrows down on the hammer elites. They're not dodging this time. Still gets 10s. Ogre mobs. We're going to start with the ones against the goats, and then against the defenders.
Not the goats.
Goats first.
The defenders will.
Oh, the
defend.
goats have been struck.
All right. So the defenders will use their reaction to boost their AC. But first, goats, I know 22 will hit.
Mhm.
So let me quickly do a application here. All right. So that's 540 damage. So you take that number and divide it by the goat's HP.
So 540.
36.
Yeah, 540, and then goat's HP is 15 to
So they
divide
lose
500.
36 players.
Yep. And then give me a morale check. It's 1d20 plus the unit's morale.
And morale is a 2.
Right, you hit looking for a
So
10.
What are we trying to beat?
10. I did not roll.
Very
we'll
good.
use cure reaction to reduce that by 4 times 20, so 80.
Nice. All right,
So add back 80 worth of
no.
people? No, I
You
mean 80
reduce
hit
the
points worth of people.
so instead it's 460 divided by 15.
Yeah. So I gain back 6 people.
And you succeed the morale.
All right. 60 goats raised from the dead. Wait, 6.
6, yeah. And now against the defenders. Kaya. And 16 won't do it.
Nope, they'll miss.
All right. Berg's crew.
Fuck you, battle bards. 400
that'll
damage
hit.
to a battle bards.
All right.
'Cause that's what these ones are, right? The battle bards.
Yeah.
Because I imagine 25 will hit them,
Yes, it will.
and I imagine they're still up. So second volley against them as well.
That'll hit. And that'll take them out.
Scoreboard. And that's my turn.
All right. Brum.
The goats run away. Or they can stay and fight.
And you can always bring up your moose maulers.
18 will hit.
Where can they go, though?
I mean, if you pull the goats back and then move the maulers up.
Yeah, I will.
Can
Can
you
we
do it?
pass through each other, through allies?
No, you actually can't. So because it's a big clump
Yeah.
of people.
That's fair.
All right, that's 4. Because there's special abilities that let you move through other people that easily.
Gotcha. So yeah, the moose maulers are just ready and waiting in the wings then.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, so you take out
70
6.
guys, 4 damage, 280 damage.
Yep, and then I divided that by their hit points, so you killed 4 ogres.
All right, numbers are not going in my favor here.
Yeah, ogres got low AC, but they hit like freight trains.
Mm-hmm.
Kill the ogres.
Oh, but they're wavering a little bit now.
Music, stop. Oh.
Yeah, we did lower the music a little bit.
All right.
I
Now
was
it
just
is
getting the good part.
elites. The veterans are going to attack the goats.
Not the
They
goats.
found the weak point.
All right.
Next turn, we might need to have the cleric start backing up so we can have the the
Mhm.
mooses start coming up to replace because the
Mhm.
goats might go down.
13.
I think I don't think the goats
Goat
can go
AC
through
is
the cleric.
18 at the moment.
Yep. The walls are
goats
doing a
are
lot for you
strong.
guys.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a mighty.
I mean, one thing to consider is we may want to just defend the front line and let the archers and rangers really just.
Mhm.
Or at least have
Yeah,
the
take
goats just
dodge
defend.
options.
Yeah,
'Cause the goats,
just-
I think, are the
Mhm.
weakest units anyway.
Yeah.
They definitely have the lowest AC.
And with them in so tight, these mortars could move out so that the moose could be ready to jump in.
Yeah, it
Goats
just
fall.
means that we'd lose a round of them firing.
Yeah.
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 Because they have to set up.
Yeah, 2 rounds
Alright.
was move and then set up.
It's Freya.
Can the armies move diagonally?
No.
Okay.
They can't move diagonally, but they can.
They could shoot diagonally. Otherwise, lining up attacks would be just a
Yeah.
fucking migraine.
Yeah.
Okay. Same focus fires before.
All right.
Boom and boom.
Second one will miss. First one will hit. So 20 times 20.
How many of these veterans do we have?
They got a lot.
It's
another
pretty hard to
10.
kill these guys.
Yeah. Although, I mean, do we want to focus on the ogres at this point? Just bring them down since the
Yeah.
since
Go
the
with the
veterans are
rogues, yeah.
already at half strength.
Wavering.
Yeah, the ogres seem to be more pressing issue right now.
Yeah, we just need to drop their numbers.
I just want to get rid of those bards because you never know what bards are gonna fucking throw at you.
Right.
Going off our intel, each of those units is 60 ogres.
Yep.
Dropped 10 over here.
60 fat, stinky ogres.
Welcome.
Did Freya go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just.
Oh,
shelled
gotcha.
the
Okay.
veterans.
I got you. Okay.
So
yeah,
both the ogres and the veterans here are wavering, which means attacks have advantage against them.
Okay.
If you want to have the dwarven defenders attack, I can use my hero reaction to add to their AC instead of having them to defend.
I'll go ahead and use the hammer guard against, or the hammer elite against these ogres here. I want to see if I could break that line.
All right.
I have advantage on it, so. Come on, Nat 20.
$22.
That'll hit.
800 damage.
Jesus, I forgot how strong they are.
Does it hit an enemy? Does it hit the AC by 5 or more?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Have disadvantage
hammer
on
elite
morale
have.
checks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have advantage and they have disadvantage on morale. Okay.
All right.
It's got to be like 8 ogres, right?
Oh.
All right. So that
Okay.
was a 9 on morale. That was 13 ogres.
Yeah.
All right. So they are going to start routing.
But they're cornered.
Mhm.
Do we get attacks of opportunity?
If they don't do their disengage action, which even routing troops normally do, because the entire point is they don't want to die.
Mhm.
But it is task.
Well, no, I still
Oh,
got the
sorry.
defenders.
Right,
The defenders
I
will go after the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have my hero points. I'm gonna spend another 2 to add to their AC this turn.
Do you have to choose on their turn, or could you do it when they're
I don't think it's a
getting
reaction
attacked?
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to
You
be,
just
to be safe right now.
You just have to declare it before the roll, is all it is.
Okay, that's fair. Let's to the attack, but this is at advantage.
Nope.
Yes.
Now it's Taskel's turn.
Okay.
Do you want to do the auto damage against the ogre map on this side?
Yeah, I'll magic strike them. So that's 6 times 20. 120 to those ogres there.
All right. 2 dead ogres. Okay, it's auto damage. They still have to do
I
their
know.
morale check.
Mhm.
They're wavering.
All right, that's what we wanted. Need them at disadvantage.
Break the lines.
Mhm.
All right. You guys hear some war horns blare out. Basics here. I'm not going to spend the time to flip them around, but they are facing the other direction. And to pull back. The archers in the middle will rain arrows down upon the goats. Get a 6 because my rolls are bad. And then the ogres will continue attacking hammer elites, but at disadvantage because they're wavering. 15.
Miss.
All right. Fergus's contingent.
So if they're wavering, then you have advantage on attacks, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna have both of the archers shoot at this one right here.
All right.
So first shot, advantage 22.
Yep, that'll hit.
That'll be 400. And 24 for the second one will be another 400. So 800 total.
All right. They lose 12.
Two checks. Damn it. Yes.
All right. You're also routing. Brum.
He will, I guess, dodge.
I mean, if they're starting to rout,
Although, should I just take a swing at these guys?
I mean, they're the goats. They're expendable. Go for it.
Yeah. Tons of goats.
We're upgrading them
third
into
of
the
our
most
front
cavalry
line.
eventually. Anyway.
To the ogres.
Yep.
That'll
Oh,
hit.
at advantage.
It'll still hit, so it's fine.
could get nat 20 though.
I'm not sure nat 20s actually do anything in these
Oh.
max combat rules. I just think they
Oh,
auto
okay.
hit.
Oh, that's fair.
So
Yep.
280 damage.
All right, do it. There's another 4 ogres. They're already routing, so I'm not going to bother. All right. End of your turn.
Yep.
They'll use their action to disengage from the walls.
Could they
Oh,
dash
they-
and disengage?
yeah, I just realized that as I said that. So that's why I move them back.
All right.
They're pulling, but the elites have begun their withdrawal. Freya's mortars.
Kill those ogres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try to
but-
thin out those veterans. I
yeah.
think.
No, I think we want to hit the ogres because those.
No? Okay.
See if we could wipe them out.
I just think we have a better chance of wiping out the veterans because the ogres have so much meat on them that even if you hit all of them at once, they're not going to go down all the way.
Well, the Moors have been doing 10 dead veterans per shot.
Gotcha.
So whatever you want.
Yep, it's Michael's choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going
Shooter's
to
choice.
attack the ogres.
Which one?
Let's attack these ones over here on the goats, because
Alright.
that seems to be our weak spot.
The goats are not weak.
Your dice rolls,
Alright.
man.
Rolling fire.
They have 20 fire damage.
hmm
That's another 13.
That's
dead
perfect
ogre.
fire damage, really.
Yeah,
Alright.
2000. You heard that? 2020 fire damage.
Mm-hmm. He's
I
gonna
knew
be
there
We all
was
pissed.
remember 2020.
Man,
Man.
that was before
And they
the
have
nerf.
coronavirus too.
those mortar teams will be so pissed when our red dragon shows up.
I'm half worried of the.
Hell, I'm half expecting if the worm blessed ones show up, they're probably going to be resistant to anything with mortar to shell out.
That they're
All right. Nulgrim.
Hammer Elite will go after this one, and Dwarven Defenders will go after this one.
All right.
I'll add. I've only used one so far, so I'll go ahead and add 2 to the attack against this one.
Okay.
Oh, add advantage. In that case, I'll just add 1. Oh, Jesus.
That's a hard hit.
Yeah,
That's a damn good roll.
1D 2067.
Mhm.
It's actually kind of a bad roll on that.
Actually, I was gonna say.
There you go. 25.
Yeah, it'll hit.
For additional 800.
Okay. It's another 15.
And then Defenders
Oh,
against
yeah.
this one.
Okay.
$14.
That'll hit.
400.
Sounds like a good old 6.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
Let's go. Wipe them out.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Go for that auto damage.
Although I think the auto damage doesn't do enough to kill the what's left. You might actually have a better luck
Ah.
with just using the ranged attack option.
Well, is the range attack
Especially
less
with
damage?
advantage.
More damage.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
pretty sure.
6.
Oh, it's 4. So
Yeah.
I had it backwards.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'll just try to go with the lesser ranged against the
Fair.
nearly depleted ones.
Yep, that'll hit. With 80 damage, that will kill 1 ogre.
And so we slew them to a man.
Looks like there's only like 2 or 3 ogres left there.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to. I don't want to fight these things again. So get them out as
Mhm.
much as possible because they're too tanky.
Well,
they're
we
too
got
much of a
one
meat
more
shield.
round of mortar on them.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, in case you guys hadn't figured out, they are starting to pull back. So I'm just
Yeah.
seeing how much damage you inflict to them because though there is some healing up, the casualties will carry over to your next conflict.
They can't
Yeah.
literally revive people. So
Yeah.
And
And we could
In
see
Total
some
War, I
pictures
always
next
tried to
time.
wipe out as many of the enemy soldiers as I could as they
Yeah.
retreat. So very much the same here.
if I
Mhm.
recall, in my system, it was obviously some of the people that you're counting in the health of the army are dead, and then some of them are mortally wounded. So that you would, I forget if it
Yeah.
was just half or if it was you rolled for a percentage. I forget.
The one that I use says that you get 50% of your casualties back if you won, and then 25% if you lost.
Gotcha.
because it's assuming that you can go out to the field and grab your wounded. So it's 25%
I like that.
lower because the victors are going through the field stabbing the dead people. Fergus.
I can't shoot the one right next to me with these coralers, right? Or can I?
I mean, if
Yeah,
all else
no.
fails, you can do a crisscross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll start with this one on the right, targeting that crisscrossed one.
I think that's a legit target.
Yeah, I think so.
So 25, so 400 against this one. So that might just be good enough.
Let me see. Yeah, it's just enough.
Okay, so the other ones will go for the other ogres. 18,
That'll hit.
400 more damage. So 6 more ogres.
Oh, they've caught us in some sort of neck of bottle.
Listen, you can talk the big game, but the orc commander clearly didn't commit all forces to
Oh yeah, no.
besieging the wall. From I assume, unless you're planning to sally forth.
No, he's going to use his ranged. I never got to use it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is it once per day? Is it once per fight, right?
It's once per fight, once per battle, 2 spaces. It's at a +3, but it's only 3 weapon damage. So throwing spears at the ogres.
That'll hit.
Right.
Also, as far as I see it, there's not a reason we shouldn't
210
march
damage.
forward at least 2 spaces up, maybe even 3.
Other than the fact that you're leaving the walls.
Yeah, the AC will go way down, and then they might
Yeah,
shake
the
it out
goats-
as a chance.
Goats will
Oh,
die real
okay.
fast.
Yeah, if they surge back towards us.
Because they got a lot of basic warriors that haven't even bothered trying to get stuck in yet.
Mhm.
All right, so that's you kill another 3 ogres.
Although we could move up and then defend or dodge and just
Nah.
basically re-engage them, but yeah, no, it's not worth it. We're not going to be
Yeah.
able to take out any
Look,
more.
we're
It's just-
trying to buy
expose
time
them.
for the rest of
Yeah.
our forces to get up
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
this
well,
is a
that goes-
victory for the 300.
Really, a lot of it is owed to Tassel going through all the efforts to build these defenses.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Listen, how
Oh,
many
yeah, the
games have
goats
we
would be
had that
dead.
has like Kenneth has made characters that are like the MVP of like protecting
Yeah.
everything?
Clutch. Yeah.
Like he either kills things so that we don't have to worry about the damage they'll do,
Mhm.
or he'll use utility to just bleed them dry.
Yeah, nothing else to do about that. Orders, I don't know if you still have a target or not.
The ogre.
Right.
The
Oh,
ogres
yeah, you
and
might still-
the
Yeah, ogres
veterans.
Foursquare, I think the veterans and the ogres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say go for the ogres.
Yeah,
Maybe just
let's
clean them out.
put target both on the ogres to try to clean them out.
I don't think you've missed a single time with these mortars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the-
missed once.
Oh, okay.
literally, like it's a +5. A bunch of the
Yeah.
units I've used have higher than that.
Yeah.
He's just rolling well.
Mhm.
So that's
I mean, that should be like another 6 ogres, right?
yeah, each.
We're sending back some ogres with PTSD.
I mean, if we're lucky, we cannot send them back at all.
That's what happens when you have Lord of the Rings and the dwarves show up with World War I weapons.
Yeah.
If these walls were mounted with a couple 16-pounder guns, this would be a very different.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have time to mount the runic M2s.
Yeah.
I just have to say it because I imagine Nolgrim's just going to be defending anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember watching this anime. That the whole premise is this girl could go back and forth between the fantasy world and the real world, and she was making a bunch of money from it. But there was a bunch of like demons and people attacking this kingdom she was living in. So she requisitioned a mercenary group from the real world and brought them to the fantasy world with completely like mortar fire and shit to take down a dragon and the army. It was exactly as ridiculous as it sounds, and it's very, like, yeah, she basically teleported to America, got a bunch of American mercenaries, and brought them to a fantasy kingdom.
That reminds me of a different anime that I saw where there was a portal connecting a fantasy world to the human world, and it was kind of like a crime drama as stuff would go back and forth. And I love the pointing out the good stuff about the modern world. Like there was a serial killer that they found out was like the last vampire in the fantasy world that came over to Earth to start killing people, and literally a SWAT
Wait, isn't
team.
this Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No, basically, but the SWAT team cornered her in the mall, and she's all like, "Fools! My regeneration is so fast. I heal from wounds almost faster than you could inflict them." They're like, "All right, guys, submachine guns, fully automatic fire." She's like, "What now?" And she's just being pilfered full of bullets, and she's like, "I'll use my magic to shroud the area in darkness and escape. Night vision on. Fuck."
That's awesome.
She just gets completely wrecked by a SWAT team. Pascal, you doing anything?
Well, might as well use the other magic strike on the ogres since they're the only thing in range.
Magic strike.
The two ogres. Yeah, there was a whole plot point about this magic ritual people were using to make these drugs that they were selling to humans. They're like, but it's only possible to make 1 pound of this drug by expending this incredibly delicate crystal that it takes a master craftsman from the Elven lands 100 years to make. They're like, what's the specifications on that? This? Oh yeah, we could just 3D print that, no problem. Yeah, computers, man. They're good. All right,
Plus,
so
that's
ogres
crystals you can throw
flipping
in
away.
a matrix and all that is.
Guys are going to back it up.
Run away!
Get out of the way. They all like the entire army is withdrawing. I just haven't been.
Why were
There.
you hiding?
They're just moving back from fire distance. All right. Fergus, I think you can only shoot the ogres one more time, and then I think that's pretty much the encounter.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Hit
Oh,
him with your best shot.
Actually, they were supposed to move just
Fire
then. Sorry.
away.
Actually, no, you can't because they just moved.
I can attack these
No,
guys
there's
though.
Yeah, you're gonna shoot. You
Well-
can attack those guys one more time.
One quarreler could hit this guy, right?
They have a range of 3.
Just at the fringes.
Yeah.
So that 24 it'll be to hit that guy since
Yeah, that'll
that was
hit.
my first target anyway. So 400 damage. So 6 more ogres.
Drop.
Alright.
No.
Oh,
Well, I'm still gonna try to thin out those orogs. So here's
Still,
the
so-
second one.
2 ogres running away.
That'll hit.
So 400 to the veterans.
All right. They'll lose 10.
No, you can't let 2 of them escape. There'll be a whole platoon in less than 24 hours.
They're like rats. How do they get so
Big
much food to
rats.
make that big rat though?
All right.
Jeez.
Is Thrum gonna be reckless, or you gonna hold here?
Oh, he's holding.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say it's not Thrum that's here anyway. So
Yep. All right. So I believe that's out of range of everyone, so we can just call the encounter at that point.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
Thrum would have
is
charged already, but
10-13.
the
Yeah.
goats are holding still.
Before we
Eating the dead.
call it, because we will be calling it in just a second, I want Fergus and Nilgrim to give me perception checks.
Dragon is in the statue.
would I have advantage on this or not? Because I have the ability to, if I don't move more than half my turn, I can get advantage. I know that's not always during
Let's just
joint
keep
narrative
let's
stuff.
just keep this flat because we're also dealing with distance in the Underdark.
Okay.
All right. So Fergus, you rolled high.
Spyglass.
You rolled high enough with that spyglass of yours, looking out at the. They're not retreating as much as they're just withdrawing outside of archery range and starting to fan out and set up.
Mhm.
Siege.
Boy, boss, let's just wait until they stop.
But you recognize, looking at that war shrine, that there's like a throne in which the Orcish commander was issuing orders from. As you dial in, you realize, though he is armored and he is bigger, you recognize the Orog commander that's leading this force.
The guy we met one time.
Throgdal, the Storm Mauler, the one who collected dwarven beards.
Oh, we gotta kill that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
I look over at
Close.
Nolgrim, hand him my spyglass to give him a good peek. Like, looks like we're gonna cross somebody off of that book of yours.
Oh hell yes! I've been waiting for this opportunity to face him again.
Also, this is leans more credence to the fact that the Drow are involved a little bit. I know that he was a mercenary,
Mm.
but there's some kind of connection there.
1v1.
Go
1v1.
back to the.
No, we've learned our lessons from 1v1s.
1v1 and we cheat.
We go back to the
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Kenneth?
It's like, can we go back to the Underdark map real quick?
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
So they are currently, the force we know about is here, sieging us here.
Mhm.
Let's see, what else did we have coming down? So we might send, when they this unit of defenders arrives, we might send the 2 units of cavalry or 3 units of cavalry around to flank, because we have this flank open.
Yeah.
That
Well,
could break-
assuming they don't have units back here, because we've seen them passing through. But yeah,
but that
definitely
would be
worth-
good for scouting and flanking.
Mm-hmm. Moose charge.
Most of the rest of that we'll have to figure out as we go in. So
I was surprised the
Anything
moose
else as
don't
far
hit any
as
harder
the-
than the goats.
Anything else as far as the session goes there, Gombo?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I was taking back the home screen, but
Cool.
Kenneth wanted to look at the war map.